Welcome back, everyone, to another session of Crituitous RP. Thanks for coming to join us today. Before we jump into the adventure, quick way of announcements. Just wanted to thank our newest followers, our newest friends and family members. They are Cyberwolf1201, Art1X Gamer, Thas Arthur, Resonance, Ruitu, Taukert, and Tillert. So thank you very much to each of you for following us. We appreciate every single one of you that does so. We're at 319 followers right now. If we get up to 500, we'll do something special. So share us with your friends, tell everyone about us, and then start sending us ideas of what we should do when we get to that point. So without further ado, let's jump into our adventure. Previously on Crituitous RP, our heroes had made a deal that seems to have altered and switched somewhat with this Order of the Yellow Banner group of individuals. These adventuring group that had been hired to go and find a couple pieces of treasure. Turns out they have a leader who is surprisingly authoritative over these individuals, a tiny little kobold named Dirk. This leader comes along with a contract from the current heir to the throne of Omu, stating they have full salvage rights over everything within the city of Omu or connected to it. So the party then continued to work together, half of one party going out and scouting, the other half going to collect the shrines. The shrine that they knew of. So, Carmen, Tower, you guys weren't here last week.
No.
While the rest of our heroes were traveling over the lava pit, dealing with the tabaxi and having a grand old time in that shrine, you guys with the other adventuring group went out for a bit of an exploration. And you learnt a couple things. One, the other shrines are all empty.
Oh.
How did we find this out?
Did we go to them or did we hear that?
You went exploring in the area. You didn't go to them, but you heard from Yuan-ti that were camping out in the spaces. And you would you have killed them? Probably, maybe, who knows? Most likely. But you've heard from them, according to them, Razin-C has 3 puzzle cubes.
Okay.
Okay. You've also learned something new. The extra bit of information that you guys didn't have previously is that should a puzzle cube be taken away from the city of Omu, it reappears inside its shrine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you heard that when someone was talking about, well, why doesn't Razin-C just take the puzzle cube and get it out of Omu if he doesn't want people to get into the tomb? And the response was, well, if he does that, that cube goes back to the shrine. So that's useless. He needs to protect it if he wants the cubes.
Okay.
So Razin-C has 3 puzzle cubes. You guys have the other 6, which is good. And that's kind of when you guys rejoin. Our heroes last week had seen... Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Yes,
can we just confirm that we have attuned to the rings? Me and Carmen.
We would have been playing with the rings.
Yes.
Okay.
Just so you know, and we probably would have killed them testing that out.
Yep.
So,
Most likely.
okay.
So
Awesome.
the shrine that we had approached last had Yuan-ti around the outside, and you guys set up an ambush and brought them in and killed the Yuan-ti, which is good. Almost losing Zola in the process, but
Not good.
everything is fine. Zola is okay. So we rejoin the adventurers. You guys kind of combine forces once more. The 2 huge parties. What do you want to do? How do you want to proceed from this point?
I think we need to take a short rest.
I think Master.
Yeah, Grigori falls down next to Carmen, just like spent. Like, ugh.
We heard the fight. That was quite intense. Are you all okay?
Yeah.
How, Carmen, that looked bad. You looked in a bad way for a moment there. Did I say Carmen? Zola.
Oh snap! He's saying other women's names now.
Zola
Pretend that didn't
I'd
happen.
like to specify that was a Matthew thing, not a Grigori thing.
Delusional. Are you okay?
Did you see how quickly those things climbed whole buildings?
Yeah.
I would have thought it more difficult without legs.
Yeah.
I thought being on top of the ladders gave us a distinct advantage.
None.
Nope. So note to self, they can climb up buildings.
How about you two? Did you have fun with the other Yellow Banner folks?
Not as fun as you guys, obviously, because you know you're our buds. Zola, are you okay? I'm really worried. I'm gonna hug Zola because she's looking a bit fragile.
I'll hug you back. Yeah, I'm fine now. Better
Okay.
me than anyone else.
No, don't be silly. No. And Carmen accidentally looks at Pijo and then looks down again at Zola. Go, no. It's
What?
we're all important. Everyone's important. You're
No,
not.
not like that. It's that Averine was the next closest person, and she can heal. So
Okay.
better
Okay.
better me than her, who can heal.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Makes
okay.
sense in my head.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm just gonna just stroke your head and be like, okay. All right. You've had a bad day. What time of day is it at the moment?
This is. I'm trying to think. Since you guys left your little campsite, you met with the Tabaxi, then went to the shrines. It's probably early afternoon.
Okay. So yeah, we had fun. We did find out some interesting information. So I'm just gonna pull our group close, just so it's just us guys. So
Dirk comes right up to you to join the huddle. We're all friends here.
hey, I'm just gonna just scrunch his hair. Alright. He'll know anyway. The last 3 shrines are empty. The cubes are not there. So we found that out from the Yuan-ti. We've not been in them ourselves, but they're not there. So we can safely say that Raznasi will probably have them. That's what the belief is, that he has 3 of them now. But the shrines are empty, so we shouldn't need to be going into those anymore.
Good to know.
Well, that certainly resolves some of our earlier arguments, doesn't it, Vereen?
You guys were having a little tiff?
Don't we always?
More of just a little disagreement,
Uh,
about where we should go next. But it seems like there's only one course of action.
And what would that be, Dirk, as the lawful collector of all things in Omu?
Here's an idea I've been mulling over in my head. My guys go to the front gate. They knock on the front door, talk to the Yuan-ti at the front door. I go with you through the side passage. We sneak past and kill the Hydra, and then go straight into Raz and C's room there. While most of the Yuan-ti are occupied by the front gate.
Well, it seems like the only pure blood we have would be better talking to people rather than sneaking through the back. But who am I to argue with someone with a writ from the Queen?
I sense some animosity there.
Not towards you.
Okay.
Dirk, why would you abandon your team like that and just...
I wouldn't abandon them. I trust them to be able to perform accurately. I don't, however, trust you to be able to do your side without me. So I'm going to go with you. My group are going to perform as I expect, and everything will be good, right?
Right.
So we'll see. Is your heart set on doing battle with the Hydra? If we were going down that route, I'd much prefer to avoid the Hydra if we can.
If we can.
Is there anything in your group or items that you have that might assist us in taking on such a beast?
Well, and perhaps some clarification. Is your group going to talk their way through? Are they going to provide a distraction so we can get in the back and there shouldn't be people there? I mean, what exactly are you expecting your group to do with the front gate?
I don't plan on my guys going inside the Yuan-ti stronghold, but instead knock on the door, draw a couple people out, and really draw the attention to the surface outside the front gate, where they can hide up and set up some sort of defensible position. They can last.
What if they draw death from the Yuan-ti?
They draw death?
You expect that the Yuan-ti will talk. What if they just try to kill them?
Then we'll have less Yuan-ti to deal with. Because my guys will win. Right? Right, guys? Right?
There is an army in there.
We've faced better odds, worse odds. Yeah. It's an idea. You don't like it? We could all go through the hidden chamber. We could all go through the front door. We could do lots of things.
I think it would be silly if everybody tries to go round the back. Surely we could use this as a distraction. She's going to look at Tao and be like, really, come on. This is a good distraction for us. Right? Grigori? Right?
Well, I like it. The only question is who goes in the front and who goes in the back. If we don't think, and I'd ask Zola, if Zola doesn't particularly want to be through the front door, then through the back we go. There's danger either way. It's simply which type of danger you face. But before we do any of that, I certainly need to rest. I've exhausted myself today, and if I wouldn't be good for anything if we head straight into danger now.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit half dead too.
I'm always good for something, but you know, you look over, there's like a black eye, like cuts, like not looking great.
Who's looking after Pijo at the moment? Who's playing Pijo?
I think I'm.
Are you?
I think it's always Ty.
Because I was just wondering if Pijo, like, where are the shinies going to go? Are they staying? Which group are they going to stay with?
Yeah, the shinies, because you know
we're at less risk.
You don't want to take your. I've seen. You don't want to leave your shinies in death's door, do you?
It's true.
Then the Yuan-ti can get them. Maybe you want to keep them close.
It's true. As the leader of your group.
So let me see if I understand what you're trying to say to me. Is you want me to bring all of my party's treasure with us through the secret entrance into the back of the thing, where you could just ambush me and take everything? That's not going to happen.
No, not at all. I don't think anyone's expecting to bring all the treasure, but just the most. You don't want to walk up to the gate with the most valuable things in your team's hands, and you're not there to defend it. You're the leader who protects them, surely.
It would certainly give them motivation to come find you should anything happen to us.
Roll a persuasion check.
Can I aid her?
And if you're only going to talk, maybe you should bring. Maybe you bring one of them with you. Rob's pretty good. He's been with us. We're pretty confident with him.
What's your persuasion checks?
19.
With advantage, because
I was
Rory is helping
25.
you.
With advantage,
25. All right. Maybe Rob will carry a few of the more delicate items that we don't want to fall into the Yuan-ti's hands.
That is a good call.
Fair enough. He goes over to the wagon, which now has the flail snail shell over the top of it, and starts pulling out a couple items. There's a pair of goggles, a headband, the staff, and a lantern. And he puts them all in a bag and gives them to Rob.
Lady, did you share the bit about the puzzle cubes? What happens to them if they leave?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We will.
Well, perhaps
I'm on a duck.
No, you haven't done.
I think we do need a moment of respite. Perhaps we could. We're perhaps uncomfortably close to the Yuan-ti entrance. Perhaps we can fall back, find a secluded area, create a fortified position, and then discuss the details there. Frankly, we're a little out in the open, literally on top of our dead enemies' bodies. Now would be a good time to skedaddle, as the youths say.
Well, I can heal this. If you want, form a line, and I can cast.
Yeah, but let's get out of here first.
It will take
Thank you for the reminder. I sucked 10 points off of Pijo.
Dirk asks, doesn't one of you have a potion that the Catman gave you? You've always got that, if you feel like you need extra.
Did the Catman give potions? I don't know what he did.
Excuse me.
If I remember rightly, he gave one potion out to...
The Joe.
Was it? Yeah, to Pijo.
So,
I've just got potion of healing, so.
But we've got time to take a rest.
We got some time. Let's just go. And we'll take some rest time.
Okay.
So
you guys...
The hut.
You
For a
want to
bit?
pop up the hut?
Too soon.
Okay.
Too soon.
No, too soon. I can do a little song of rest instead. Then I'll do a little jingle instead.
So let's move over to the city of Omo.
Rather than hang out right next to the bad guys where we just had a fight, let's leave and we can rest a little later. I worry about reinforcements.
Where are you going to hide out? Are you going to cross the bridge again?
Oh no, I think we just get near the bridge and just try to find some place.
Can I ask if we so this is the front entrance down here where everybody's going, where
Correct.
the diversion party is going.
Yep.
We have to circle around to this entrance
No,
to
I
get
thought
in
we
the
were going
back.
around to here.
In this way. Can you see that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
There is
so
a
we-
break in the wall that leads to a set of stairs that goes down into the side of
Well, then
the
let's move to the north end over here, since it's away from where we had our fight. Find a building, hole up there. It's kind of midway between the front door and the side, so we can discuss and break out from there.
Okay. So, you guys find yourselves a fairly defensible spot. You've been traversing through the ruins here quite a bit, so you know what to look for, the safe spaces with decent vantage points, and you will be able to take a short rest. Patrols are much lessened since you guys have been killing them. So during the course of the short rest, the hour that goes by, you guys can spend hit dice if you need to regain hit points. You can regain any skills that refresh on a short rest, but then it becomes early evening. What are you guys going to do?
I was going to ask Grigori if he thinks a short rest is going to be enough for him before facing a Hydra, which seems to be the next point of interest.
Okay. So
I was very glad that I could help you in that last fight, but that almost spent me entirely. I can do a couple more small things, but I am not my connection to the weave is exhausted. Physically, I just don't know if I can channel that much more magic. And going into what is certainly a life and death fight, and then even if we get through the fight, dealing with all the Yuan-ti, I think we should all rest and be at the top of our game. Today we've already gone through that fight on the bridge with that cat person who I can't understand why we let live. I would have enjoyed seeing Averine and take him in Mortal Kombat, but whatever.
That was never actually going to happen, and you know it.
Not to say I still wouldn't have enjoyed it, my dear. We had the.
Yes, we've had a very long.
We had the shrine, we had the Yuan-ti, and now jumping feet first into the stronghold of the most powerful warlord on the face of Omu seems inadvisable.
I would preferably like to get Bookmark's abilities back as well, which it's not going to happen until tomorrow morning. Everybody, is a long rest or is an extended sleep time possible, do you think?
Perhaps we wait until dawn.
Two things. While Dirk was grabbing the treasures, could Tower and Carmen would you guys have shared that information that he was trying to eavesdrop on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's something to think about. Grigori, can you check your bag of holding to make sure we still have the cubes that we claimed?
So you look inside the bag, and knowing what you know about a bag of holding, when you put something in there, it removes it from this plane of existence and puts it on a little bit of a demi-plane, somewhere far, far away.
Yep.
You reach in, and the cube's still there. The demi-plane still counts. The demi-plane is still within Omu, so you're okay.
Oh, that's a relief.
Yep.
All right. And anyone...
I was thinking the same thing, Everine. I had a moment of concern, but we seem to be okay.
All right. And then when Dirk comes back, I'm going to say, Dirk, we're heading into the lair of the Yuan-ti, and there's one somewhat part of your contingent who has been there before, and it seems like we should talk with her before we do anything. Do you have any way of bringing Valindra back, or calling to her and summoning her to us?
So Dirk will mention, remind you that he never worked with Valindra. She worked with his guys while he was separated. So he'll go and spend a couple moments talking to his people privately, unless you guys are going to listen in.
Well, while he's separated, Grigori will just say, Carmen, doesn't your lovely instrument allow you to send messages to others?
It does. Well, actually, no. I don't need the instrument, to be fair. I can a message anyway. Don't need it.
Let's keep that between us for the time being. Let's see what Dirk has to say.
Yeah. Okay.
So Dirk comes back with the way in which we do have to communicate with her is simply our elven sorceress here, enchanter, is capable of sending a message to her that she would get. So if there's a message you would like sent, we'd happily be willing to talk about trading that service.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. That at different times of the day there might be different levels of protection to contend with, and what if at this time of the day that those levels of protection are at their weakest? Would it not be then advisable to seize on that opportunity?
Okay. My enchantress can only cast it once more today. She could cast it more times tomorrow if you need, but once more today. if you would like.
Do you know if her messages have been safe or if she's had any unexpected return messages while she's been doing this at all?
Usually those spells don't get interfered with. Like they go specifically to the target.
Yeah, usually. Okay.
Well,
I'm just going to look to Avery and wink, like, do you remember when we first got here? And then we said, don't do that again, Carmen. And Carmen went, okay, I won't do that again.
Ideally, we won't be communicating this sensitive information via the spell. We don't have enough words in a spell to strategize. My optimal outcome is to bring Savalindra to us. So the protection and the time of day is one of the things I'd like to discuss with Valindra, but certainly more things would be more helpful. So if you could just bring her to us so we could pick her brain about what we can expect.
If I was to communicate out to her, or if somebody was to communicate out to her, then would that then not make other people aware that she will be here? Are we not making her presence known by doing that?
We could be. At the moment, she appears to be playing both sides of the game. If we contact her, then Raznasi may know that she is working against him.
So if the messages are being listened into, then we say don't use names and be vague. Say, find us by the last place, etc., etc. I really have no idea how someone could go about listening in on these conversations and what information they could glean outside of the actual words. So really, there's no telling what would and what would not be safe.
But we have no way to know that he does not know who the sender and the receiver is either.
No way to know.
This sort of thing doesn't happen. The only case Averin might have heard previously of this sort of thing happening is within demi-planes themselves. Creators of the demi-planes can usually hear and listen into any communication that goes across the demi-plane.
If they can hear and listen, can they pinpoint the location in which it came from?
Don't know. This sort of thing doesn't happen on the material plane.
Okay.
All right. Well, my opinion is we should talk to Valindra before we head down. Does anyone disagree?
No. I would suggest that maybe we send to Valindra that we need help, but we don't tell her where. I'm sure Valindra's resourceful enough to be able to discover our location. She knows us by name. She should be able to find us. And then she'll make her own way here, and if someone's going to follow her, then we know someone's listening into her conversations, as well as ours, into her magics.
And then we can send a false message. Say, at noon tomorrow we strike, etc. And then
Could do.
Etc. etc. All right. Well, yes. If we can summon Valindra in the most responsible way possible, that would be preferable.
Okay. So he'll signal to. Is there anything specific you'd like to say other than just, hey, we would like your help. Come find us. We'd like to talk, maybe, rather than help.
You lot probably know her better than we do, so.
Okay. So, he then gives the thumbs up to the enchantress, and she mutters under her breath for a moment, saying, hey, we could really do with a talk. Come find us at your earliest convenience. Really, that should be right now. Please. That goes off. I'd like Tower to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
14. Okay, so immediately, well, not immediately, maybe a minute or so after the sending is sent, you watch as a small blue circle begins to glow in your midst, right next to Tower, like positioned right next to him, as a teleportation circle just appears, and out of the darkness, the shadows coalesce into the form of Valindra. She looks a little bit different from the last time that you guys had met her. She's not dressed in her usual wizarding robes. She's actually dressed in what looks like fine silks, a turban of sorts wrapped over her shoulder. It's yellow with purple sash around her waist. If anything, she looks almost beautiful, the way that she just kind of saunters forward. Hello. And to what do I owe the pleasure of being summoned like this? Always loved being summoned.
So we saw a harem of Yuan-ti purebloods 2 days ago. Is she dressed like them?
Dressed just like the harem. Yep. Except she's still a half-elven woman with blonde hair. Definitely not a Yuan-ti. Her skin is quite pale and actually very white compared to what a typical half-elven individual is.
Certainly, Valindra, the pleasure of your company was requested, but I don't think any of us could summon you against your will to be here. So thank you very much for so expeditiously answering our humble request.
So, what do you need? I was kind of in the middle of something, but I found myself enough opportunity to spirit away, as it were.
Well, we will try to make this quick. Everine?
Good.
Valindra, it's always a pleasure. We plan to treat with Raznizi, and our current plan is to have a distraction group at the front and our main contingent heading around back. It's my understanding that you have experience in possibly both endeavors, and I'd like to hear what you have to say about it so that we don't die.
Well, we wouldn't want that, would we?
Insight check.
Go ahead and insight check, Valindra.
I was thinking it.
She could be telling the truth.
She could.
So, here's what if that's your plan, couple things you should probably be aware of. I mentioned previously that my friend Eric and I tried to sneak past the Hydra, and we didn't go past. Eric, unfortunately, didn't make it past the Hydra.
Why were you sneaking? You appear to be quite involved with these Yuan-ti from your current appearance.
I have many friends with many purposes, and Eric had one that I was just helping him with. When I went and checked on Eric's body, I wasn't actually... What was that?
But you helped, and now Eric is dead. This does not bode well for us.
True. But who can you trust in this world?
Good point.
When I went to check on Eric's body, I found his body broken, torn to pieces. Quite a shame, really. He was quite pretty. But in the hustle with the Hydra, he had managed to cut off a few of its heads. Unfortunately, that meant that heads grew back. He didn't quite understand the whole mechanic of a Hydra. So FYI, the Hydra currently has 10 heads. Just putting
Any
that out there for you.
recommendations on how to make sure it doesn't get any more heads?
If it takes fire damage, it can't regrow heads.
Okay.
So wait, if you hit it anywhere other than the head or the neck, does it not hurt it like you want it to? If you hurt it anywhere, will it grow another head?
Mechanically speaking, so with this, as she'll explain that attacking the Hydra, if you deal more than a certain amount of damage in a short space of time, one of its heads will fall off, whereupon it'll regrow, unless it's taken fire damage.
And you know us, you know the Yellow Banner folks, you know us somewhat, knowing that half of us will go to the front door and half of us will go to the Hydra. Do you have any insights on who ought to do which? Who would be most well equipped for one versus the other?
Looking around, I think you actually have a chance to survive the Hydra. Just putting that out there.
What do you know about the lair of the Hydra? Can we not just bypass it?
You can't bypass it and bypass the Yuan-ti stronghold. To my understanding, I haven't been able to see too much of the place, so don't take my word as gospel. But you can use the side entrance to actually get into the slave pens. But that is in the heart, in the main sector of the stronghold. If you want to go to Razan C, you have to go through either through the stronghold, through the temple, and then into his private chambers, through a big set of locked doors that he holds the key of. Or you could go through the Hydra's passage and go into the back side of his room.
Right. You know that the Hydra has 10 heads. Is that right?
Well, last time I checked, yes.
So you've seen the Hydra.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe its surroundings?
It's a cave. As you enter into the side passage into the fane, you will see a little lake bed where there are usually some fishing boats. Take the underground river around the eastern side of the passage. The space is about 20 foot tall. The cavern, stalactites everywhere. There are a few pockmarked positions that you can stand on that is ground that's not on a boat. But otherwise, the water level is actually 30 foot deep.
So do I know, do Hydras breathe underwater? Do Hydras fly, et cetera, et cetera?
Hydras don't fly, but from their sheer height, you could assume that the body of the Hydra is probably going to stay under the water, and its heads will be above the water. If the water is at that depth, then the body will be down, the heads will be up. It kind of helps with the anti-fire situation if its body is under the water. Now, you've got to be careful because some of the brood guard and their handlers do actually use those cave systems for hunting and fishing. So sometimes you might see some Yuan-ti down there. That's as best as I can say, really. Or you could go into the slave pens, deal with all of the slaves there.
Is it a wild Hydra that just happens to live next door to the Yuan-ti? Or is it a trained Hydra? Or is it an enslaved Hydra that could be set free?
I don't believe it's trained. I do believe it was just captured and placed there specifically to defend that space. Setting it free will be a little difficult. It's a bit of a big creature. The only ways in and out are 5-foot wide corridors. So kind of a tight squeeze.
Noted.
I think you muted, Lainey. If you were saying something. Okay. Of course, if you want an easier go of it, the Yuan-ti do their rituals 3 times a day.
Which would be at what times?
Yes. So, first light, noon, and dusk. They tend. Razensi holds ceremony that he holds for a ceremony of the Night Serpent. The first one, the morning, the one at dawn, is held specifically for the purpose of bidding farewell to the Night Serpent. Then at noon, it is a ritual meant to empower the Night Serpent during the heat of the sun, during the day, to keep it strong until night comes. And then when dusk happens, it's a ritual to bring about and summon the Night Serpent. At each of them, a slave is sacrificed. And so most of the Yuan-ti are positioned in the main chapel, watching the ceremony happen. You'll find that the seer usually does the ritual, and Razensi overwatches and oversees everything. So if you wanted to get into his chambers without him there, you have 3 opportunities. Morning, noon, and night.
The way that you describe the lair of the Hydra makes it seem like it is impossible to sneak past it.
You need to swim or sail very softly if you want to be able to swim past it.
If we had the means to climb along the cave walls or the cave ceiling, would that put us out of the Hydra's reach?
Potentially. If you can avoid disturbing the water, you have a greater chance of sneaking past the Hydra, as it tends to stay its time below the surface. Heads may be up above, but it detects the motion of the water more than anything. So stay above, fly past it. You might be able to. That's a good idea. I should have told Eric to fly. Poor Eric. I knew him well.
The pretty ones are rarely the smart ones.
I know. Don't worry, you guys aren't pretty.
Oh.
Insight check.
You can do so. It'll fail though.
Well, anything else? We shouldn't delay you too long. I'm certain you need to return to your business.
I was having a great time. Fantaza was telling me all about the missing child.
Oh, and what did she have to say about that? Fantaza is a friend of yours?
Fantaza is the current seer of the Night Serpent, the current nightmare speaker.
Ah.
Yeah.
And
It's a fascinating story. I'd love to tell you sometime, but maybe I don't know if you're ready for the story. I don't know if maybe you're worthy of the story. She gives you a wink, Grigori.
oh, perhaps you could come back and you and I could talk. I certainly have, when you have more time, something I'd love to discuss with you.
Fair enough.
When you have a quiet, private moment, let me know.
Maybe. I think this might be something you'd want to hear, though.
Oh, I'd be glad to hear it now if you have the time.
Roll a persuasion check.
Can we say I don't really want to hear it, so it's a deception check instead?
Nope. Okay. Well, I can tell you the story of Mika, little Yuan-ti child, born, I don't know, a couple decades ago, was stolen in the dead of night by one of the purebloods. It was told that this creature would become the next nightmare speaker. Untrained in the ways of its power, Venthaza longs to be able to find little Mika and teach her the truth before Raz and C can.
Was Mika an abomination, or was she a full snake person? I understand Yuan-ti have varying degrees of snake-like attributes.
Becoming the nightmare speaker would turn Mika from a pureblood into an abomination.
But no one's seen her for many, many years.
Many, many years. But Razan C himself had made a deal with an entity to be able to create the perfect nightmare speaker that would serve his purpose and help him aid his patron. And so...
Are the Yuan-ti still looking then?
I believe so. I believe so. Mm-hmm.
And if Mika were to arrive, I presume that would cause quite a hubbub.
Well, I mean, Mika hasn't been seen in a while, and no attempt of scrying for Mika has ever worked.
That is quite the tale.
Yes. Thought you might like it.
I'm very intrigued.
Is there anything else I could do for you all?
So we saw Valindra arrive.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to recognize the spell that she arrived with?
She used the teleport spell.
Do I know if the teleport spell can carry more than one person?
I believe it can. Teleport should be able to do multiple people, actually. Yeah. So you would know. Your knowledge of the arcane is such that teleport is one of those commonly understood, though rarely mastered, spells.
Why don't you bring us with you when you go back?
We might cause quite a stir.
We could do it tomorrow at dawn, when everyone's at prayer.
I imagine you excused yourself and found some secluded place in order to be able to cast the spell without being seen.
Well, teleportation within the temple is actually fairly common. There are teleportation nodes within the fane of the Night Serpent, which I utilized, which the Yuan-ti utilize all the time. I just utilized it to come out here. I could bring you back through one of them. It might be a little bit public. Unfortunately, the node in Razan C's room is protected that only he can use.
Is there a node that we could pop in without, with the minimal amount of notice? Perhaps if we did it during one of these ritual ceremonies?
Or are they all sufficiently guarded that popping in would alert everyone to our presence one way or another?
Well, you see, this would really put a hamper on my plans. You just suddenly appearing.
What plans are those?
Oh, you don't need to worry your little head about it.
Well, we don't want to inadvertently ruin them via some other means.
It's okay. Just trying to find and get Mika into the temple. That's all that I've been hired to do.
Hired by whom?
Oh,
So it's not-
you don't need to worry about it. Don't bother your pretty little head there, Grigori.
Have you been able to find Mika then? All attempts to scry her have failed. I presume you're looking for her as well then?
Yes. I've
Well,
not found
maybe-
her, though.
Maybe we could make a deal and help you look for her if you would tell us who hired you and why you're looking.
Don't worry, I don't need your help.
Oh, I'm sure that's more true than not, my dear.
So, the teleportation nodes. The one that I used was inside the Purebloods' living quarters. The bathhouse, more or less. We could use that, or we could go into the... well, there's not really a way to get into... See, there are only two ways to get into Razansi's personal room. One through the main temple space, which we couldn't do during the ritual. That would just be a little silly. And then the other is through the Hydra's space. I could take you into there, but you'll be having to traverse through the whole place if you wanted to teleport in.
And if we were to do that, would we be able to figure out how to use the teleportation circles or whatever to escape?
Oh, it's fairly simple. You just need to expend a spell slot of 4th or higher to actually use them.
And that'll take us wherever we want.
It'll take you to the other nodes. I stepped into a node and cast a teleport to get out, so it looked like I was using a node to travel to somewhere else within the temple.
Ah, very crafty, Valindra.
Well,
So you
I'm
could
a crafty woman.
You could teleport us right outside Raznizi's room, outside of where the Hydra is. So after the Hydra, but before Raznizi's room. Is that right?
I could. But I'd need some sort of incentive to do so. And just helping you isn't going to be enough.
Well, you're telling us how to do stuff. Clearly, you have some vested interest in us succeeding. Why is this the
perhaps her
spotlight?
vested interest is that there be a ruckus and a commotion, and if we live and survive, that's an added benefit. Is that the case, Valindra?
Sounds good.
And here, you've done me wrong, Valindra. Here I thought you cared about our surviving, and really you just care about us getting into trouble. But you are giving us advice to help survive, so I appreciate that.
Well, what would be the price to teleport us outside of
What do you
Raznizi's
have?
lair?
What do you have to offer? Do you have anything of particular value?
Averine's not offered her soul to anyone yet.
Well, that being said, in fact, I should say, I do know that you have something that's particularly valuable, but I don't think you'll give me the ring. So perhaps we could come to some other arrangement.
What ring are you referring to?
Yeah, what ring?
There are certain
I
entities
insight-
that
can
know
I
you
insight
guys
that?
have that. Yeah.
Can
go
I
ahead,
insight to know
insight.
if it's that one? It's a terrible roll. Ooh.
Blank face, almost eerily blank, like an illusion kind of blank, in that you know that she's hiding her true form. That method of hiding her true form is also helping her to be able to hide her true meaning. She mentions that you guys have a ring. There's a chance she may know that you guys have the Ring of Winter, or she may just know that the Liches sent you on a track to find the ring.
Well, Valindra, I mean, Tower and Carmen just got those rings. I'm sure you wouldn't be that interested in them at all. And I give her a little knowing wink.
If you have something else of value, perhaps I'd be willing to do such a thing for you if you gave me that.
We used to have a pretty nice folding boat.
We want to avoid the water, Grigori.
I have the horn.
A horn that you don't use.
He doesn't.
It's too valuable to use. You don't take a treasure and then run it through the mud with daily affairs. You save it and put it on a pedestal.
All right, so it doesn't sound like you're interested in zapping us for the front door, is that right? Or to the back door?
Correct. Not without some sort of payment.
All right, then I guess even if we were to do that, we'd probably have to fight the Hydra on the way out. So either way, we're going to have to contend with that.
Potentially, yes.
Killing this Hydra would make a good tattoo. I am fine with this.
Oh, and the fact that you think we'll survive it better than the other guys. Your confidence means so much.
Well, you bring fire, correct?
That's my specialty.
Yeah. So, you should be fine.
On that note, I don't really see how my own skill set is going to aid anybody in this next endeavor. Valindra, what about just sneaking one of us in?
Just you?
I'll be a good girl.
Okay, I'll do it.
You tell me what to do. I'll do it.
Yeah, okay.
Is that okay, guys? 'Cause I do not see how I'm just going to give it more heads. You know?
It will only grow more heads if we do not close fire. We have plenty of people to close fire. I would not wish to face this thing without you.
I can't cause fire, though. At all, whatsoever.
You do not need to. You have plenty of others that can.
Well, having an infiltrator sounds like an excellent idea. I don't particularly like it, only for personal reasons. But if you think it is a good idea, and if Valindra will take you, I think that's probably
And if
an
you
excellent
want, we could get you an
plan.
outfit that looks just right for the purebloods, you know? You look perfect.
That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
Is that a deal? Is that the plan then? I'll teleport Zola in pureblood uniform into the space past the Hydra. And you guys go deal with the Hydra in the meantime.
Grigori, are you sure that you don't want somebody to go with your lovely, lovely, lovely lady?
Oh,
Sure.
one is a shadow, two is a crowd.
I'll make lots of friends when I get there. Don't worry.
Oh, I know. And I believe that. I'm just making sure you're okay because you're.
Would you
Would
you like to go with her, Carmen?
I don't want her to go alone. I would happily go with, but equally, I don't want to leave you guys as well. So I'm just concerned that you could end up on your own. So
She won't be alone. I'll be with her all the time. Don't worry.
I know. And you know, Valindra, you as a half-elven girl as well, blonde hair. You know, we're kind of like sisters, a bit different from different misters. So I get that, and yeah, you're fine. It's just don't laugh. I just want to make sure she's okay because Zola's helped me. She's been there for me, so I just want to make sure that she's all right. That's all.
Okay. It'll be fine. Don't worry. I got this.
I know you do.
Inside check.
Inside check. No, but she has got this. It's just what has she got is the concern.
Yeah.
Can I?
Come on.
Okay. So, what were you going to say, Zola?
Can I also try my hand at insight checking
Yeah.
this? Because
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
this is very relevant. Nah, I
No.
trust her implicitly all the
You
time.
trust her completely. It's fine. Tower,
Fine.
though it's really difficult to be able to gain a sense from Valindra, you personally get a sense, hang on. She wanted payment to take all of us, but she jumped at the chance to take Zola by herself.
Putting two and two together.
Even if you can't read anything to her, that right there, that shift in behavior seems odd. Not overly bad, but just a little odd.
I would much prefer that you stay with us. Not that I do not trust you, Belinda. You can inside check if you like.
I'm gonna be useless to you guys. If I get in ahead of you, then I can gather information while you guys are coming through, and I won't give it more heads.
You're never useless.
And we are taking.
I'm just gonna be standing there doing nothing, potentially watching you guys get your butts handed to you, and I don't really want to do that.
Oh, I'm gonna play songs, so I'm not that much different, to be fair.
We are traveling through the back entrance of this. The Hydra may not be the only trap. I would much prefer.
Which is why Zola ought to go in. She's pureblood. She can wander around the fen, probably unrestricted. I would much prefer to kill a Hydra, get into Rosnasi's chamber, and have Zola waiting for us.
One of these
cased out the place.
I've been trained to do all of my life. The other one, no fire, no help. It's very obvious to me which one I should go for.
So when would you like to go?
You said that very weirdly.
That is the question, isn't it?
Do you want to go at dawn, noon, or at night? Which of the rituals would you like to utilize?
It's already afternoon, right?
Yes, so you could go for the one at sundown tonight, or dawn the next morning.
Oh, I recommend dawn, the witching hour.
Okay.
I think everybody needs a long rest by the sound of it, so. Well, you guys all need a bit of a rest, maybe.
Carmen looks like a summer breeze, just like happy-go-lucky. Everyone else is beat all to heck. It's like, ah.
Okay. Then, it's settled. I'll see you at dawn.
Before
I'll come
she
back with a
goes.
costume.
Before she zaps out, Grigori's going to step aside and try to talk to her privately.
Okay.
We'll talk later. You can come and we'll have our deeper conversations. I know you're more powerful than me, and that's part of what we'll talk about. When you take Zola, keep her alive. If something goes
don't
wrong,
worry.
if something goes wrong, and you have to save her, I'll owe you a debt. If something goes wrong and you choose not to, you'll have to come kill me too, because if not, I'll find you one day.
Roll an intimidation check.
Oh! Threatening boyfriend. Not that well.
Yeah. Can I convince the DM to give me advantage?
How so?
For reasons.
How so, brother of mine? How are you
For,
going to convince me?
for sincerity. For sincerity. No, that's fine. And he's not, and to be fair, it's not, well, is he intimidating her? No, he's just telling her how it will be. He doesn't expect her to be scared or to like cow to him or anything. Just, if you let her die and you could save her, you're going to have to come find me and kill me first, or I'll come kill you. That's just the natural outcome of it. Like the sun rising after nightfall. That's just the process of things.
Well, you don't need to worry a thing at all, Grigori. I need her. She is going to stay alive.
I don't worry at all. I just want to make sure we're clear.
Okay. Now you rest well there.
And when you
Sleep.
have a moment today, tomorrow, in a week, pop in. We'll chat. It'll be delightful.
Yeah. Okay. So, she then bamfs out of there. You guys can set up for the night to rest. Now, if you use the hut, obviously Dirk and his companions aren't going to fit inside your hut with you.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So they will camp out outside the tiny hut in their own private sector, and they'll spend most of the night talking, but they'll kind of try to separate themselves. During the evening, are you guys going to be setting up your own watches, or are you going to tag team it with the other party?
Tag team seems to be working fine.
Okay. So which of your party is going to take the first watch?
Tower's still fresh, so he'll take the first watch.
Okay. Then, over the course of the first 2 hours, roll a perception check, and Robin chooses to take the first watch with you.
Is that Tower's friend?
Oh,
That's the big guy, the half dragon.
It's your friend.
Brave Sir Robin.
I was going up against a monstrosity.
It was fun, but not nearly as challenging as the little tussle we had.
You do me too much. Yeah, you carry on.
So your watch goes by kind of calmly, not a lot happens, but you do notice that Dirk is communicating with his party. He's getting them fully up to speed with everything that he overheard with the deal with Valindra and what's happening. So to his understanding, at dawn, Zola is going to teleport into the temple, or somewhere within the shrine, the fane of the Night Serpent. The rest of you are going to enter into the side entrance to deal with the Hydra, while his party go and distract the front gate to kind of keep things busy. So, nothing else happens. The night moves on. You pass on to the next watch, and we don't need to roll perception checks as nothing seems to happen this evening. Everyone is fairly calm. Everything is a good night. Is there anything you guys would be doing during the night as you prepare for the siege in the morning? Any additional precautions that you plan to take for the morning? We can say.
Grigori just takes watch with Zola whenever that is, even if it's not the first or last watch of the day. Nothing else about that. No special role play. He just takes it at the same time.
A rules question.
Yeah.
I have an advantage card, and I know that I can give advantage to someone else. Can I do that in the heat of a moment? Because my advantage card is a reroll any roll. So if someone rolls poorly, can I give them a card? Give them my card.
So your card, Carl, says choose one. Immediately re-roll a d20 you just rolled, as in you, or add +4 to an attack roll you just made. On a hit, it does fire damage instead of any other damage type.
So, but I know that I could give advantage. I could give another player my advantage.
So you can hand over your card preemptively to any player, but you can't. Well, yeah, I'd say you can do that in the heat of everything. It's outside the mechanics of the game. It doesn't require a reaction. It's just as soon as the person uses it, or as soon as the situation happens, you can pass over the card. They can use it and then re-roll. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Lainey and Ty also have such cards.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. Then at the end of the long rest, everyone gains the full benefits, so everyone's back up to full. Spell slots all refreshed. Everyone's ready. Dawn is but an hour away. Any last precautions before Valindra shows up to take Zola away?
Do you guys want to tell me anything? To look out for anything, or be looking for answers to questions that you have, or anything of that nature?
Look after yourself.
Thank you.
Valindra wants something from you. I think Raznisi wants something from you. I wouldn't be surprised if, was it Fantasa, wants something from you. Just be safe. You're smart. You can make your own choices. But
Okay,
just be careful.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I didn't hear anything Matthew just said.
Just be
Horrible.
careful. Be careful. Be safe. People may be looking for you. And then just give her a kiss.
Okay.
Nobody can make me do anything that I don't want to do.
Exactly, which is why I don't worry. Just stay alive.
I got it.
Okay. Then, a couple minutes later, just as before, but this time circling around Zola, Valindra shows up in a slightly different coloured outfit this time. Rather than the yellow robe with the purple sash, it's a blue robe with a red sash, and she comes in with the yellow robe for Zola to put on. I'm afraid, dear, you'll have to put this on instead of your armor.
That's fine. Can I keep my weapons, though?
Of course.
Okay, great. Can someone hold on to my armor, and when we meet back up on the inside, give it to me?
I have a big old bag that carries lots of things, so in it goes.
That's true.
Can you carry any vials?
Well, you're dressed in nothing but a robe, so if you can carry it, you can carry it.
I have acid, alchemist fire, antitoxin if you want it, vials you could have if useful to you. I also have a healing potion you could have if you have some way to carry those.
I think... what's alchemist fire?
It's a flask that you throw. It's a grenade. You throw it, it breaks, it burns stuff.
No. You might need it for the Hydra.
I literally just burst. My hand bursts into flame. It's like, that is not...
Yeah, well, apparently there's a limit to that.
Oh, snap.
I mean... turning an entire cave into fire, there's a limit to that. Doing this, like, is not that big a deal.
Okay, well, if you want to give me the alchemist fire, I'll take that. Everything else, though, doesn't sound very useful. I've got some healing potions.
All right, 1 alchemist fire flask in your inventory.
Thank you, Mapenzi.
Stay alive.
Okay. Then with that, when you're ready to go, all dressed up, Valindra puts an arm around your shoulder, kind of holds you in tight. You
Do
know,
it back.
it's going to be great.
Oh, we're gonna have
She
so much
then
fun.
casts teleport, and you two bamf out of there.
Is there any way to tell where that was going? Like, is there a way to tell if something's like going short, or if like the sigils are like she went to like water deep?
You have no idea where it was meant to go, so you can't tell that sort of thing.
Good to know.
Unless you can scry on Zola's current position.
Nope.
Which you can't. You could send a sending to her, and she could respond.
Sure. Nope, that's fine.
Okay. So, Zola, you disappear in a flash. Your body feels in a moment like it's ripped apart and then rebuilt in an instant as you are teleported. Shiver goes down your spine, but then you realize that shiver's not just because of the arcane nature of the transportation, but also when you drop out, everything is really cold. The air is a little stale. The stone all around you looks unwelcoming. You look at the floor, you can see there appear to be cages built into the ground itself, 4 vertical cages, like tubes that are placed into the ground with their cage doors closed shut. Other individuals, not Yuan-ti, all in there with their arms reaching up to try and get towards you, but they can't reach you. I'm going to move you to the map of the Fane of the Night Serpent so you can see what I mean. Bear with me 1 second. Well, 20 is acting a little slow, so I've completely disabled dynamic lighting in here. If you can't see something, that's because it's not revealed.
So I'm going to try to present a demeanor that I think Valindra would want from me, specifically. So I'm going to try to be very non-reactive towards these things, despite the fact that it's horrifying.
Yep. As you step into the stone room, a woman there, dark-skinned woman, is there to welcome you. Her long yellow sash wraps around her shoulders, and across. She's covered in jewelry. Can you guys see? Oh, it's taking forever. You can see the picture of Phantaza. Okay.
Yep.
Then you look down and you notice she's got a snake body. She bows ever so slightly as Valindra points to Phantaza. Zola, Phantaza, Phantaza, Zola. I do believe we're even. As she says that to Phantaza, and Valindra disappears, leaving Zola alone in the prison room with Phantaza.
Immediately, I'm just going to nod back and tell her, well met. How may I be of assistance to you?
I need to look at you. You're pure blood, true, but where are the signs? Where are the markers? Let me look at them.
Sure.
So she starts examining your entire body, all up your arm, looking at every single scale that you have. You feel a sort of presence almost push against you, mentally as much as physically, as she's examining you, both your person and who you really are. You'll do. You'll do. I need you to play a part, young one. Pretend to be someone you're not. Could you do that for me?
I'm up for this challenge. You will have to tell me exactly as much as you know about this facade I will be adorning myself with.
I'll keep it brief. 2 decades ago, roughly, Razan C, when he entered this land, made a deal with an entity who was not the Night Serpent to craft a pureblood that would serve him at a snap of a finger. I need you to meet with him and follow his commands as if you were that individual commanded and created to be incapable of acting without his permission.
Very good. May I ask you what is at stake?
The future of Yuan-ti kind here in Omo. Razan C is unwelcome.
I've heard things. So, when do we know that we've won?
When his head lies on my table.
Very good. Ma'am? What is the proper title?
You may call me Phantaza.
Very good, Phantaza.
And from here on out, you will answer to the name Mika.
Sure.
Good. Now, we need to make a slight change to your person. If you wouldn't mind following me, please. And she leads you out of the prison chambers into what looks like a ritual room.
Zola's heart is pounding. As soon as Valindra said we're even and bamped out, she knew she'd stepped directly into this different territory, all of this unknown stuff that Valindra's been carrying around. She's like, okay, this is it, huh? Okay.
So, in the room that she walks towards, there is a 3-foot-tall altar. It's covered in blood. There are troughs along the side that are just dripping with recent sacrificial blood that has been begun to dry, but obviously this would have been last night's kill. The air still smells a little metallic, as you can almost sense the creature that had befallen here. Blood is sprayed all over the ceiling, as the individual probably struggled during the affair. Her brood guard, like hounds, are just licking up the excess, just cleaning up the place, sniffing at you as you walk past them. And she walks into a room north of the altar room, where she is met by 3 snake-headed Yuan-ti. Are you following her, Zola?
Yeah.
Okay.
Calmly.
Okay. So she in turn points at each of them. Arakiti, Kultha, and Nis. They are my assistants, trained with the eyes to see that which people cannot. They look into the pool and use its magic to alter the world.
Fancy.
I need you to step into the pool.
Would you be so kind as to let me know what will happen? What to expect?
You will temporarily become like me.
Should I expect any after effects that are negative and prepare for those?
Well, what would you consider negative? I quite
don't.
like this form. And she wiggles the tail a little bit.
Any health issues that I may need to be aware of? No.
You might prefer your meat on the rare side.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
It should be within your wheelhouse. It's a little bit heady. What makes a person to you? What makes them who they are?
To me, it is a collection of what they were meant to be and what they actually are. What they have done, what they might do, and what they will do makes a person. Possibility makes a person. If a person is potentially going to act in a particular way, then I must assume that that is who they are. If there are things that a person will never do, that tells me more about a person's character than anything else. Why do you ask, little one?
I was told by my mother before I left, and it was the one thing that she sent me off with, is to remain myself. So I'm merely attempting to ensure that a physical change won't affect that.
She places a hand on your shoulder. Little one, you've always meant to come here and have your form altered like this. It is part of who you are. The future and the past work together to create who you are right now. It'll be temporary. You'll have your legs back in a while.
Okay. Okay.
And step into the pool.
Knowing that this is the only way forward with the plan, I look back at the rude monster creatures in the slab of blood, think of alternatives, shake my head, and then I'll carefully step into the pool.
Okay. What's everyone else doing? So Zolda's just gone. Dirk approaches you. Are we ready to go?
All right. If we get caught, here's what we're going to do. Valindra said that they're looking for some Yuan-ti. We pretend we're that one.
You pretend... Okay, we're all going to pretend to be Yuan-ti. That's going to be more difficult for some of us than others.
No.
And he points to the blue guy and the red guy.
No. Grigori can disguise himself. So, Grigori, if we get caught, pretend you're Valindra's...
I
the
can
Yuan-ti
also
Valindra
disguise myself.
Oh, right. So
We
either
are
one
the
of you.
least likely to be seen as Yuan-ti.
Okay, then...
Out of game, I will note that I have retrained and don't have alter self anymore. In game, Grigori says nothing. Yep. Sure can.
Okay. then one of you pretends to be a Yuan-ti, and I'll be a friend. Right?
None of us can speak their language.
I think they talk common from time to time.
Along with Draconic and Abyssal.
I
We'll be
speak
fine.
Whistle.
I speak Draconic.
Perfect. Off we go.
Okay.
At this point, Valindra has taken Zola. At this point, we're not turning around. Off we go. Let's follow the plan.
Right. Are you sure? Maybe we should go through that. Nope. Oh, all right. Nope. Never mind. So, you guys...
As we're walking, I feel really good about having Zola go with Valindra. That just feels really good. Don't know if anyone else feels the same. That just feels right. Surely nothing could go wrong from that.
Nope.
No, everything should be fine, you know? All right, then I'm going to drag everyone else through to the next section. We have... now, you guys wanted to bring Robin with you, didn't you?
We wanted to bring
Yeah.
the treasures with us.
Yeah, Robin
Yeah.
is carrying the treasures.
Then we
Robin-
certainly want Robin to come along. Your presence would be invaluable to help us in battle.
Grigori
like
has this fantastical bag. I note you have a whole lot of burdens that you're carrying. Why not let him do it?
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage, because there is no way he would agree to that.
Let's see.
Rob likes us. I like Rob.
14.
True. 14? No. I'll be okay, you know. I'm a big guy. And he flexes his muscles trying to show them off to Tower. Yeah.
I think you need to play on this.
Do that hench. Like, yeah. And like do the arm slap. Yeah.
Okay. Then the rest of you. Let me move you down here. You slip in through the back chamber, down the long corridor, and it twists and turns out of you. You hear the sound of dripping water. You're getting close to the lake zone. Scouting ahead, are you guys moving quietly, or at least are you attempting to do so?
Yeah,
Then I'd like everyone to roll stealth checks.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor.
Are we attempting to sneak past this thing? Because if so, then I'll go with the usual
Good shout.
to get us going.
Okay. All right. So it looks like everyone rolled pretty well. Oh, I need to roll for Robin too. Come on.
The first stealth is Tower, the second stealth is PG.
Okay.
Good shout.
Really?
Sorry, man.
Really?
I'm sorry.
You got pass outside.
It's carrying all this. It makes me a little bit noisy. You know?
I'm gonna use luck on that.
You're gonna use luck to improve his roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a d20.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Right? Can I? Or is it important?
Strictly speaking, you can only do it when someone makes an attack against you, I believe, and you
Oh,
can
no.
force them to re-roll.
You're right. I can't use it.
Yeah.
I was thinking
The
of
only
something
thing you could do is to, as we said before, give Robin your inspiration card and have him re-roll.
else. No. In fact, what I'd like to do right now is just give my inspiration card to Zola or to Casey, just in case he's.
Okay. So, to do so, you simply drag and drop that card over to Casey's name. It should highlight Casey in yellow and trade the card with her. She needs to accept it.
Robin,
There we
you
go.
would make less noise if you weren't so overburdened with items, but whatever. Carry on. You'll be fine.
Shh. Stop talking to me. You're making noise. All right. Thankfully, enough of you succeeded that as a group, you were quiet enough. As you crest around the corner, you can start to see the lake bed. You can see the boats. But sniffing around the ground around there, digging into the dirt, the soft, wet dirt around here, are 4 of these Broodguard. Now, Broodguard aren't difficult to deal with. You've dealt with plenty of them before. They're not that mean. And they don't seem to have noticed you. So what do you guys want to do?
I want to have
This mean?
I want to have gone back in time and brought that not Kajit, that Tabaxi with us. Let's see if he wanted to come back, but whatever.
Let's just jump these guys and kill them. If they're down here, there might be a Yuan-ti master. We don't want them to sniff us out and come back, so let's just get the drop on them.
But then could we wake up the Hydra if we disturb these guys? If we not?
If you do it fast enough, no. And I know you've been wanting to go faster and be invisible, Carmen.
Yeah.
You could do a lot.
Don't talk to what I want to do. Don't talk to inner Carmen. It's bad. That
You could
sounds
be
fun.
invisible and destroy them all. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Great. Awesome.
Great. Okay. Cool. And with
So-
that, yeah.
These creatures will be surprised. So, because there's a chance that you guys in your surprise could kill them all, we're not going to bother rolling for initiative. It's going to take too much time. You each get an opportunity to act in whatever order you wish prior to these Yuan-ti Broodguard. If any of them are still alive after the last of your turns, then we roll initiative. So what are you guys going to do?
I cast haste on Carmen and I twin it onto Tower.
Okay. So both of you feel that boost of energy. Your
Okay.
AC is increased by 2. Your speed is doubled. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I would cast Greater Invisibility. I think I can cast that on an extra person as well.
Are you able to upcast Greater Invisibility? Do you have that much power?
No, I don't yet. No, I think.
Didn't think so. Okay.
So I would do Great Invisibility, and I would run up to the first one and have a slash and take him out. Try and take him out.
Okay.
Do I need to roll that?
Yeah. So whatever you're doing.
She's invisible, so she'll have advantage.
She has advantage. 23 hits. So 11 points of piercing damage. Anything you can do to that?
Is he still? Yeah.
Still
so I'll do
alive.
okay, so I'll do my The other one's more than 5 feet away, isn't he?
Well,
Yes,
you can
he
keep
is.
you can keep moving though.
Yeah.
You can split up your. You have a ton of movement. You can move as far as you want, and you can split up your attack and your movement.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering if I could do like I've got a slashing flourish, which would hit somebody else 5 feet. So that's why I was like, they're
No,
close.
you-
No, okay. So in which case I would use a defensive flourish on that one then. In that case.
Okay. For an extra 7 points of damage.
Yeah.
Now that's your attack action. You don't have extra attack, but you
Yes, she
do.
does.
Do you
I
have
do.
extra attack?
I gave
Okay.
her haste.
No, I
gives-
know about haste, but
Oh.
I'm
I have
thinking
an extra one
extra
anyway.
attack. Yeah. Okay. Then you've still got 2 more attacks that you can make.
Okay, so I would go again.
So 23 also hits for 9.
And then do I get another one with haste? Then?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
Okay.
You get
I'm
another
not-
attack action, so if you have something that lets you
Not
attack
another
twice-
attack action.
Oh,
no.
excuse me.
An
That's right.
extra single attack. So go
That's
ahead and make your attack. At advantage again because you're hidden.
Yeah.
Okay. Another solid hit. With that, the Broodguard falls in front of you.
That's
Its
right.
body falls limp and just kind of slides down the mud into the water. Little plump.
Go.
Okay. So that's what Carmen did. Who else? You've got 3 Broodguard left.
Well, Tower will, having been hasted, he will change into Caber.
Okay.
Surprise. I will charge down the next beastie.
Okay. Running up to attack. So you've used your bonus action to wild shape. You've now got your multi-attack plus an extra one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will do a bite attack. 16.
Hits. For 6.
We'll do a claw attack. That's a hit.
17 hits. No, you don't have advantage, sorry. So
Okay.
12 misses.
Okay, and I'll do another attack.
Okay.
23.
That'll hit.
And slashing.
Nice. Anything else from you, Cave Bear?
No.
Nope.
Got the gold hay bear can do.
Okay.
But Pijow is going to move across and Pijow he'll Hunter's Mark. Do you know what? He'll Hunter's Mark the one at the back.
Okay. Good idea, since the one in front of you is a bit hidden by you. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so he targets that one.
Yeah. And he'll take some shots at that. 23.
That's a hit.
That's Hunter's Mark. And then he'll do a second attack.
Yep. Another hit.
Another hit. Alright, now he gets Hunter's Mark and plus a Slayer.
Okay, so 22. Okay, this thing is heavily weakened.
That's what Pijow can do. So
Okay. Averine, Dirk, Robin.
I'll firebolt the one that Pijow was just shooting.
Okay. As the firebolt launches through the air, it almost whistles a little bit as it catches the cold air mixed with the hot, and then that is a dead Yuan-ti Broodguard. Anything else from you, Averine?
That's it.
Okay. Grigori, you cast the spell, but are you going to do any other actions?
I'm gonna wait for Dirk and Robin to go first. That's okay.
Okay. So, Robin is going to charge forward. Let me open up his character sheet. Come on. There we go. All right. So, he's going to run forward. Oh, nope. 15 foot to get to there. And then he'll move to that spot, 30 foot away. Okay. So, jumping over the cave bear, pulling out the long sword in the motion, he's then going to drive the blade up against the Broodguard afterwards. With a 17 to hit for 13 points of slashing damage. That is a heavy hit, but not quite enough to kill, so he's going to strike out again. This time not two-handed. He's going to, with one hand with the long sword, and actually pull out a short sword as well. Unfortunately, that longsword one-handed attack misses. He then comes in with the short sword afterwards to hit, and that is a dead Broodguard. Hurrah! All right. Now we have Dirk, who's going to run in. Does he have 30 feet or more? I think he has more movement speed than that. Plus he's a rogue, so he can dash as a bonus action. So he'll probably do that. Yep. So dashing up. This creature is surprised, but he's a thief, not an assassin. So, short sword attack. Ooh. That's not going to hit.
Ooh.
Yep, so Dirk fails. That leaves us with Grigori. You've used your action. You haven't moved.
So I guess I've only got 30 feet of movement, so I can only move up to there, and I can't see anything from there, so I guess I'm done.
All right. Then we're going to roll for initiative. Probably not going to take very long. So if you roll higher than the Broodguard, you guys will probably kill it.
I can't do both at the moment, though.
And then the Rude Guard rolled a 21. Maybe I'll kill Robin and Dirk, and we'll just have to, take their property. It's what they would have wanted.
No. Let's make a deal. Okay. Anyone else missing? I think that's everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, in turn order, the Brood Guard gets to go first.
Oh.
It's a little bit quicker than everyone else. So it's going to attack Dirk. Yep. It is going to recklessly attack so that it gets advantage on these. It makes 3 attacks, each with advantage. It's 20 to hit for 8 points piercing damage. Dirk will use his reaction to cut that in half to 4. He'll then claw attack twice with advantage, 21, and come on. Okay, so that misses. He takes 6 points of slashing. That is that done. Pijo.
Pijo will use his bonus action to move the Hunter's Mark over to that last one. He will fly over to about here and then shoot. $14.
Hits. But with more of a hiss. All right. So, and 15 points of damage.
Okay, and fire again.
Another solid shot.
And oh, come on. All right.
Okay. Not quite killed the Brood Guard yet. Anything else from Pijo?
Nope.
Okay, Grigori.
Walking over here, can I see the Brood Guard through tower
Yes, you
and
can.
everything else? I will just hit him with a nice little Eldritch Blast cantrip. And I get 2 after 5th level. So I think that's it for me.
Okay, so 23 and a 19, both of those are going to hit. 12 points of force damage. Heavily weakens, but doesn't quite kill. It's almost on last legs. It drops down to 3 knees. So,
I'm done.
Tower, what are you going to do?
Tower's going to roll up, and with the hit on 2 knees, he's going to come down with 2 claws and then go for the fight to tear his head off.
Okay.
What's the sheet? Is shift double click on the token to get
It's
the...
at the top, the caper button.
How'd you get the sheet up?
So
Yeah.
you can't do the shift double click for you when you... The easiest thing for you to do right now is actually press the cave bear button again. So select your token, press the cave bear button.
Sorry, I found it. I just scrolled up. Sorry.
Okay.
Cool. Too many screens. So I'll make that bite attack. 19.
Adelheid.
Can't be quite. 10 piercing.
With a tight grip, you just tear the head of the Brood Guard off. Do you spit it out or do you eat it?
What's it taste like?
Tough meat. It's a bit gamey, but it's obviously raw and bloody.
Tear it. Spit it out. Spit it at Dirk. Onto Dirk's lap.
Right. Then with that, with all of the Yuan-ti Brood Guard dead, you guys having claimed the beach, well done. We're going to go ahead and take a 15-minute break. So, on your screens in a moment, you will see today's Who's That Monster? Type in the chat what you think it is, and we'll let you know whether or not you were right at the end of our 15-minute break. We'll see you then. Bye. Welcome back, everyone, after the 15-minute break. Thanks for joining us again. So, today's Who's That Monster is... and all that. The Jakuli, right? Yes. Jakuli. So, the Jakuli are the snake-like, vine-like creatures that the heroes faced last week at one of the shrines. We now jump back in. Our heroes have just defeated the Broodguard. They've claimed the beach. They have boats and then the cavern that expands onwards. But we're going to take a moment to just nip over to Zola, or Mika, as we'll call. So, Mika, you step into the pool. The pool is it looks like clear water, just turbulent in that it's in constant motion, like someone is constantly twirling it like a big pot. And you step forward and enter into it. It reaches up to your waist, just above your waist, and you feel your body beginning to almost tingle a little bit. You smell things a little bit more vibrantly, like your senses are going into overdrive for a moment. The bare grey stone, now you pick out individual pieces of mineral, of color, that build towards this grey overtone. You can hear the sounds of the blood dripping in the next room. You can hear the noises of the Broodguard lapping away and cleaning everything up. Everything is just extreme. Then your legs feel almost locked together for a second until they switch. One of the Yuan-ti seers that's there reaches forward with a hand to take yours. Do you give over your hand?
Yeah.
Let them take it. Okay. They pull you up out of the water. You now have an abomination's lower half.
That didn't hurt. I'm very glad about that.
It feels like you've still got the physicality of two legs inside there, but they feel like they're locked and they have to move together. One solid bone structure. You can sense the motion of the whole thing, and you seem to innately understand how to move as a snake. The constant constricting and shifting to be able to slide through, and doing so, you are able to climb. You have a climb speed equal to your normal speed. Okay. Amongst a few other things. You are now, unbeknownst to Fenthaza, actually a nightmare speaker.
Ooh. Whoops.
Ooh.
As a result, you now seem to be capable of invoking nightmares. It recharges after a short or long rest, should you wish to do so. You can tap into the nightmares of a creature you can see within 60 feet of you and create an illusory, immobile manifestation of the creature's deepest fears, visible only to that creature. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 2d10 psychic damage and is frightened of the manifestation, believing it to be real. You must concentrate to maintain the illusion, as if concentrating on a spell, and it lasts for 1 minute and can't be harmed. Okay. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the illusion on a success or taking 2d10 psychic damage on a failure. And I'll give you that stuff later as well if you ever want to actually use it. But now you find yourself capable of invoking nightmares. As a result, you almost get a sense of an understanding mentally of the fear that is within the room. You can almost taste how everything is a little bit on the knife edge. The three Yuan-ti individuals next to you all look back and forth to one another, and they smell frightened of you. It's a strange thing to now be able to actually smell the scent of fear. But it's palpable. It's definitely something you could recognize in the future.
Caltha, could you please take a step back?
Yes.
Thank you.
They lean back. Fenthaza steps towards the door. We're almost ready. There is but one thing left in order for Razensi to believe you are the true Mika. You must aid me in this morning's ritual.
Explain. What will that entail? And as she speaks, I'm going to whip out my cutlass and begin doing a little bit of fancy tail work to see how the way that I fight is now altered. And she'll be doing that, and she'll actually like hit the wall, and then she'll back up on the wall, and then back down on the wall, and then eventually get towards the corner of the ceiling, and she'll be fine, just sitting up there like, this is a new way.
With your tail, if you do an acrobatics check accurately, like a good enough acrobatics check, you can actually extend the tail out and make yourself 10 foot tall.
Oh, wow. I'd like to try that.
Okay. So roll an acrobatics check.
And you're talking about extending off the wall 10 feet?
No, I mean like standing up, like balancing on the end of your tail so that it extends your height up, like a snake climbs up, that sort of thing. You rear up with your blade ready, you're balancing there. It's fairly solid, actually. Pretty good. If you were to direct this, you could almost attack at a 10-foot range.
This is fantastic.
Yep. It's pretty neat to be one of these guys. You should stick around, be an evil character for the rest of the campaign.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Then, so Fenthaza just goes to explain as she kind of chuckles as you're getting used to the new form. It is simple. A slave from the woods around here, captured when they tried to disturb one of our camps, will be slain for the true Night Serpent. In Dendar's honor, we will slay the blood of this infidel. And all you have to do is stand next to me while I sacrifice the individual.
How was he interrupting our territory?
He and a group of friends of his attacked one of our camps outside the city, not yesterday.
What species?
Human.
Does he have a mustache?
No.
Ooh, thank goodness.
But last night's sacrifice did have a mustache.
No!
It twitched for a good couple minutes after he was slain.
No! Did he have an accent? Did he speak like a walrus a little bit, like you'd imagine a walrus to speak?
He spoke far too much after he was captured, so we sewed his mouth shut.
Oh no! You guys are awful.
No, we do what is necessary for the honor of the Night Serpent.
Yeah, tell me more about that. Am I supposed to know anything about the Night Serpent?
No. I will be there to guide you. It is my role as the current Night Speaker to train you in the teachings. But I understand and I know that Razensi does not wish you to actually worship the Night Serpent. He wishes you to aid his patron, whoever that may be.
Okay. And a couple of questions, because he probably will ask. Do I tell him who delivered me? Do I tell him that you found me? Does he know about our mutual friend?
He does not know that she is as powerful a player as she is.
But he does know that she's around, and he knows her name?
He does. You may say that I found you with Valindra's help.
Okay.
Not the other way around.
Okay. Because he, well, I don't know. These are all rumors. He may know about your intent as well. Or are you?
Raz and C and I have not seen eye to eye in many a year.
Right, so maybe it's not the best idea to tell him that you found me. Because that would imply that you put me in this position, which you did, which we don't want him to think too hard about.
You make a good point.
So Valindra found me.
Valindra found you.
Okay.
Okay.
And then if he asks me as a test of loyalty or something ridiculous to turn around on you, what's our plan?
Kill me. If
Yes.
he makes you do so, kill me. It is more imperative that you are close to him, to destroy him for the fate of all Yuan-ti. I am willing to die.
Okay. And who would you like to replace you in the event of your death?
In the event of my death, the next Nightmare Speaker will be revealed by Dendai himself.
And am I supposed to know how that occurs?
It will be obvious.
Okay.
The person will start to manifest their powers. Visions will appear of terror that this person is in control of, but cannot control. This person creates fear all around them, but they would not be able to control it. It would be almost instinctual.
Understood. All right, I think I'm
ready then.
I think so.
Okay. Then she waves to the Yuan-ti, who disappear for a moment out the room and start preparing for the ritual. A couple minutes go by when people start to gather into... So the ritual is about to happen now, and everyone is gathering to the temple. As everyone has reached the temple, that's when you are escorted out of this ritual room back into the sacrificial altar. And you will notice that the slave has been brought forward. Let me just pull out a token for... Come on, roll 20. Here we go. Come on. Sorry, bear with me for a moment. Here we go. As the sacrificial, the sacrifice is placed upon the altar, you recognize your brother.
If I'm capable, I will lean over and whisper to Fenthaza, "That is my brother." Is there time to grab another one? There's too much room for risk here. I don't know if I can maintain this. If you want this to work.
Roll a persuasion check. Okay. So we're going to rejoin the other group right now.
No cliffhanger there.
Nope. So, you guys unaware of what's going on. The ritual is beginning, so everyone is now at this point making their way towards the central chamber of the Fane of the Night Serpent. You guys have the beach. You have the boats. You can see beyond the lake or the river underneath here is broken. There are portions where there are little platforms. These squares and blocks that you can see are actual platforms in the water, not stalagmites that go all the way up. Beyond them, you should be able to see another such platform about 80 feet ahead of you. Mm-hmm. And then it just kind of narrows and moves around. How do you guys want to proceed?
Is this a door above us?
Yeah.
That is a
what's that?
door above you.
Is that where we need to go?
Now,
Valindra-
from what Valindra told you, you need to go around the river.
Okay.
All right, I recommend that we try to not disturb the water so as
Agreed.
to not awake the Hydra. I have prepared to fly today, and I can cast it one time on 2 people, and then 2 more times on 2 separate individuals. But I can't do it all at the same time.
So that gets up to 4 of us? No, you can only,
But
you
not
can only
at the
maintain
same time.
concentration. Understood.
So he could get some people forward alone, but it would split the party.
Tower, if you used your magic to keep us concealed, would that help keep the boats from making too much disturbance in the water?
Turn back into town.
Yes. He said yes.
Out into the back.
Would Tower not want to be a spider and crawl along the ceiling? No? Okay. Palmer can fly.
Well, Averine, who would you like
well,
to have fly?
Well, I obviously can fly, and Carmen has done that, and she can do that with her thing. And if we cast it on Tower as the bear, he can carry a few people.
Tower still has the feather.
Tower has a feather.
Tower does have a feather, but he doesn't want to use it yet.
Pretty soon you're going to be able to transform into flying creatures anyway, so it's going to be a useless item. But
If Carmen, that's a good point. That's a good point, Pijo. If Carmen makes herself fly, Averine, you could get yourself and Tower or someone else, and then the 3 remainders could just pile on top of Tower. If we fall, we're in a pickle, but as long as we don't fall, we could all just fly.
all of us.
Tower, you tell me, can you fit 3 of us on top of you? The 3 smallest, perhaps. Dirk, myself, and Averine.
You could fit 2 people on him. As long as those 2 people don't cover his carry capacity.
Or can anyone hang underneath him and hold on to his fur and, like, hang? Woo! Yeah, the 3rd person.
Could hang on, but still carry capacity.
Sure.
So what's the plan, guys?
So if I could make Tower and Robin fly, and that would let Dirk and Grigori ride upon Tower, and then all of you would advance, and then when you got to a safe place, I would then follow.
Well, Robin could carry Dirk, couldn't he?
Could carry Dirk, or he could carry Averine.
We can all fly together, I think, if done correctly. Carmen can cast fly in herself, Robin and Tower can fly and carry 1 or 2 people each, and we can all fly. If we fall, that's a problem because we're stuck in the water without a boat, but
Let's
that
not
is
fall.
life.
Unless something were to break concentrations, you guys shouldn't have to fall.
And it will mean I will not be able to use the teleportation circles within this place if what Valindra said was true. I don't know why we would have to, but so long as someone else can.
I can levitate someone.
You can't do that in this one, essentially.
Can I not do both?
No.
Because it's a musical instrument. It's not concentration.
You still need to hold concentration on the spells that require concentration.
Oh.
You can cast levitate. Can you cast levitate objects and not creatures?
If you've got the weight for it, yes.
Averine, if I understand, it only requires a certain amount of brute magical force to use the teleport circles, no particular study. I should be able to use them. Carmen should be able to use them. I think we'll be okay.
From what Valindra said, many Yuan-ti also use them regularly, so you should be able to find someone else within the temple that might be able to. Okay.
Could you cast levitate on the boat?
Ooh, well, there's a carrying capacity to the boat, so if we all got into it,
500 pounds.
we'd 500. Well, okay. So if the boat's like 30 pounds, and then put 2 people in it.
Yep, you could do that. And then someone flying would have to push it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could get in instead of flying yourself, you put Averine in. You and Averine could be in the boat because you're the lightest, and then I can push the boat while carrying the other 2, and that just leaves Pedro and Gregorian. Grigori can cast fly on himself. Can he not?
No.
Or Robin could carry him.
Yeah.
If Averine is in the boat, then Robin can carry him. Okay, so we have Averine and who in the boat?
We get 3 in the boat.
It's 500. It's up to 500 pounds. The spell can levitate a target that weighs up to 500 pounds.
I weigh 170 with my bag of holding. Those are 5 pounds, right?
15.
15. So I'm 210 myself. Total weight.
So Grigori's 210. I'm not. I don't know how much my character weighs, but you might be able to get me, Grigori, and Averine in the boat.
Okay, so we'll say that. We'll say 3.
Yeah.
So Carmen, Grigori, Averine in the boat. Levitated by Carmen.
Yes.
Tower flying in bear form behind, pushing the boat.
Mm-hmm.
With who on his back? Dirk?
Dirk.
Okay.
And
And
Robin's also flying.
Flying by himself. Or rather, to make it easier on Tower, Robin will carry Dirk. Tower only needs to push the boat.
I think that's.
And then that's everything.
We did the word problem, guys. We figured it out.
Everyone begins to fly and make their way over. Since you're not touching the water, you all still need to roll stealth checks because the Hydra is still listening out in the area, but you have advantage because you're not disturbing the water.
And I'm invisible.
I haven't dropped. I didn't break concentration. I didn't cast a spell or anything.
Greater invisibility.
We still got pass without trace.
trace.
All right.
Greater invisibility
Carmen.
is only 1 minute, right,
Yeah.
Carmen?
You can't have both greater invisibility and levitate up.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
fine.
the
All right.
Greater invisibility is only 1 minute anyway, so you're fine.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So stealth checks at advantage all around. And let me roll for not a brood guard.
That's
With
fine.
advantage.
Why we got advantage?
Because you're
Because we're
flying,
flying.
the way in which this creature is sensing is very specific, and you guys are subverting that.
Don't question why we have advantage.
Plus 10 for pass without trace.
Okay. So
I mean, I've got 31.
30, 24, 29, 31, 34, 32 from Dirk, 30 from Robin. You all very quietly make your way up to where the Hydra is. You even get to see the Hydra. Let me move us over and reveal more of this map. You can see the Hydra as it is currently slumbering and asleep. You will see it in just a moment. There you go. So there you go. As you guys fly up past this little island, you spot 10 little heads just kind of curled up around one another on the surface of the water. Little bubbles popping out of the mouths as they're snoring away.
Oh,
Cute little Hydra with 10 heads. Deadly little monstrosity. Aw.
Now, part of the reason we came this way was so we could kill it, and then when we left, it wouldn't be a problem. We can sail over it, but then if we have a problem and are running back with the whole temple on our heels, do we leave it be, or do we just try to kill it now?
Really? Really?
We leave it now.
Yeah. We
'Cause we
might
don't-
not wake it up.
Yeah, we don't want to disturb whatever is beyond that corridor.
Well, everyone keep in mind, if we have to come back this way, we may have Zola with us, but the same arrangement's coming back. So if we have to run in a hurry, we don't have to figure this out again, okay?
That's fine.
Great.
Yes, fine.
You're doing great work on the levitation spell, by the way.
Thanks. Don't say
One of the
that.
heads just kind of tilts and... You're making a bit too much noise.
It's like my baby. It starts to settle. I'm like, be quiet. Don't move. Maybe it'll go back to sleep.
Are you comparing your newborn child to a 10-headed hydra?
I think most parents will agree that is a very apt comparison.
You solve one problem and two more approach.
Yeah, it's like I changed your diaper, that should solve it, but then two other issues for crying come up. Like, that's just how it goes.
Okay. You all sneakily float with a bear pushing a boat. Like, that image in my mind is a flying bear pushing a boat through the sky. You slowly creep forward till you get to where the water hits up against some more dirt. Yeah.
Paddling with his back legs, though he doesn't need to.
All right. So the broken stone, the crevice in the cave, tightens a little bit before it comes to an end. You can see the end point ahead of you as it begins to dip down to only be a couple feet above the surface of the water. But before that, when it gets down to about 15-foot high building, you see a break in the wall. There are lights shining through it, colorful candle lights, decorations, as you can see into and you can approach what looks to be a throne room. The throne room is empty.
I guess we've landed with the boat in the bay there, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So that's where you land. You set down. You guys enter in this room, this fairly bland and well, not bland, but empty space with green lights shining to illuminate everything, magical light. You can see a throne sat upon the dais and a teleportation circle in the wall below.
Oh, those lights! Oh, they're so pretty. I'm like, Peter's going to examine the light.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. It's so pretty.
Is Pijo going to touch the light?
No, he's not.
Is he gonna try, and then Carmen grabs his hand?
Would Pijo try to attempt to press the light? I think Pijo would.
Yeah!
Message Pijo, like, to whisper to him and just be like, Pijo, don't touch that light. Put the
Roll a
hand.
persuasion check. Oh,
Okay. Is that we'll come back?
okay.
Right.
Persuasion check versus Pijo's insight.
Alright, okay. Persuasion. Don't do it, Pijo. Don't do it. Don't do it, Pijo. Don't do it. Come on.
Against what, PJ?
Insight, or just straight up wisdom.
Oh,
Carmen's persuasive, but
The shinies have their own.
that's a very shiny thing. He can see that all she's trying to do right now is try and convince him not to touch something very shiny and nice. I'm sure the shiny thing is just simple, but maybe he won't deal with it right now. He might touch it later, but not right now.
okay.
Okay? Because that's close enough. You can't force someone to change their behavior, but close enough that he'll know, okay, I won't touch it right now with Carmen next to me.
That's fine. So Carmen's going to do some positive reinforcement, which is good for children. So she's going to go, oh, you're such a good boy. I'm so pleased. Thank you so much. She's going to give a good ruffle of his feathers.
Well, maybe you should give him a replacement shiny, Carmen, since he did a good job. I'm sure you've got a couple things you could give him as a substitute.
Carmen's thinking, what?
You've got some shiny.
Gold coin, look at the gold coin, look. And she's going to do little tricks like pull it out of his ear. Well, you know, where his ear would be if he had ears, he's a bird. So.
Am I going to be fooled by the magic trick?
Yes, Pijo will be fooled by the magic trick.
But you're going to think it's adorable.
Wow.
There we go.
Is it a magic coin?
Just don't touch anything, please.
When you guys get into the room, what are you going to do? Other than Carmen and Pijo arguing, what are the rest of you doing?
Examine the teleportation circle. Just see if I understand it. Try to understand it enough so I could get back here if we run into some circle later.
Roll an Arcana check. Nice. Right. So here's what you can gather from this teleporter. It's not actually as difficult as Valindra mentioned. You looking at it yourself, you can come to understand that these teleporters were created for individuals that actually aren't that magically powerful. Anyone can step onto any of these teleportation nodes and roll a Arcana check. If they succeed on a DC 20 Arcana check, they can use it to teleport to any one of the other 5 nodes.
Hey, Averine, this isn't as difficult as they previously said. I think if you just understand how they work, you don't even have to really be magical to use these. Look at these runes here. I think if you just activate them precisely, you can teleport. If you put in the wrong code, nothing will happen, but I don't think it's as complicated as we expected.
I'm starting to have second thoughts about Valindra, that she might not have been entirely forthcoming in all things.
The bear is.
You're just now thinking this.
At last.
So I cast Locate Object and see if I can sense the puzzle cube with any of the images that we don't already have on a person.
Okay. You do sense the objects. They are within 1,000 feet of you. They're not moving. In fact, they are... From where are you, Averine, right now? They're less than 60 foot away from you right now. Just behind the throne.
All right, I'm going to investigate the throne or the walls around the throne and see if I can find any switches that would indicate a passage.
Okay.
Tower has a perception check of the room and with any unusual smells or anything unusual in it.
Roll a perception check, both of you. Now, Grigori, as you examine the teleportation circle, you also come to, with your Arcana check being a 25, you come to an understanding of the locations of the other nodes. You don't know where they go or what they're for, but you at least sense their presence and distance away from you.
So I understand that there is a node shortly behind the throne.
Correct.
And that I could use this to get there potentially if we plug in, if mechanically speaking, if I get an Arcana check high enough.
Yep, absolutely. That's right. Now, Averine notices that the wall to the north is actually fake. There is a slight gap in the wall up against the left corner next to the throne room. It is very faint. There's a slight breeze. The cave bear notices the breeze but can't really tell where it's coming from. There is definitely a room behind that wall where the red marking is.
So I'll whisper shout. I was like, there's a room back here, and I sense the cubes are in there.
I think there's a teleportation circle in there as well. I can roughly, if I understand these runes correctly, more or less 55 feet that way, there should be a rune.
All right. Well, I want to take a look at that door and the floor surrounding it and see if I can see if there are any traps.
And I tell Dirk, you're a quiet, sneaky one. There's some doors down there. I wouldn't want to make too much noise, but maybe you could poke your head out and see if you see anything. And if you get caught, kill us all. So don't worry about that.
Which doors?
These ones to the left here.
Okay. So
It's
he'll
down the
go
hall.
and take a look at those. And he'll be there for a moment. Averine, you look over the door. Roll an investigation check to see if you can figure out how to open it or if there are any traps around its form.
I'm going to use luck on that.
Okay.
So total of 17.
Yeah, because the 9 plus your 8. Okay.
Oh.
You do understand that the floor right in front of the wall has a slight stone indentation that's sticking out. You come to an understanding that should you just simply step on the pressure plate, the door will slide open. No traps. The door just opens. What are you going to do?
I think I should try to get in there. What do you all think?
Go for it. Grigori's going to stand by the teleportation circle and prepare an action if something goes terrible to try to teleport into the other room. Not planning on it, but if she opens the door and acid starts to pour in or something's going to kill everyone, he may try to get away.
Okay. So you step on the pressure plate, Averine.
Yep.
The door slides open. Beyond it, you see a beautiful sight. A room filled with pillows and cloths and coin and treasure everywhere. You guys haven't seen this much loot in a while. The place is just absolutely filled. The cushions up against the far wall seem to be laid out as if it's a bed for a large individual. But it's empty. The room is empty. You can see the teleportation node to the east. Everything looks nice and clear.
Can I still
We're
sense...
going to...
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No?
I was going to say, can I
You
still
can
sense the
sense them. Yes. They are, in fact, the sense is coming from the stone, the wooden chest of drawers and shelves that you see just up against the wall there. Okay. Now, at this point, we're going to transition back, jumping to Zola. Okay. We're going back a couple minutes. This is moments before the ritual begins.
You will lose me as a willing participant and an asset if you choose him to sacrifice. Beyond that, you'd be burning a bridge for the future. He happens to be a high-value political asset to the civilizations in the north. Keep him.
Okay. But you cannot say anything about who is next chosen. We don't have the time to go through and keep checking new people and next person and everything.
Yes, ma'am. In Zola's head, it's like, as long as it's not Shago.
Okay.
Such
All right. She thinks to herself out loud, okay, we have another couple humans, a dwarf, an elf, a turtle. I wonder who it could be.
Not the turtle. They don't the hits aren't very clean. It wouldn't end up being very ritualistic in the end. It would just be kind of choppy with that shell and all. I say go for one of the humans.
Okay.
Nice and squishy.
Then Shargo seems to be strangely compliant. Not really aware of everything that's going on, a little bit fuzzy in the head. She snaps her fingers and Shargo gets up off the altar, walks into the eastern chamber, and actually climbs into one of the cells and locks himself up in there.
I see you're controlling them.
A few moments later, just a little trick I picked up a while ago. Once you know what really irks a man, you can force him to do whatever he wants. This young man seems to... his worst nightmare is the death of his little sister.
Isn't that
Another
touching?
human is pulled out. It's weak. That's what it is. It's so manipulatable.
She openly rolls her eyes.
Yep. Another human is brought out this time. It is a young girl, probably about 14 years old. Cholton individual. Looks fresh from Port Nyanzaro. We've been saving her for a while, but I guess this will do.
I'm gonna be sick.
Then
I won't
she
say
lays
anything,
the little girl on. Yep.
but
you're not
I
gonna say
might
anything.
vomit where I stand.
Okay. There is a spittoon just to my left here, just in case you need to. You'll get used to it, don't worry. Because we've
No.
got two more today to do.
I'm not going to get used to this. This is
Okay.
repulsive.
Children, to think I've waited 300 years for this. All right. So Phantaza waits. You can see through slight gaps in the wall, a ritual chamber is starting to be filled. And Yuan-ti from all over the fane are approaching. I'm going to move a whole horde of Yuan-ti that you guys circumvented by using the path that you chose to take. So good job there. So, as the chamber... Oh, he should not be in the blood. Let's get him out of there. Right. So as the chamber begins to fill up, this is what Dirk can witness for a moment as he's peering through the door. Zola, you get to see everything strangely as a arcane image is created up against the wall so you can watch everything appear. A swirl of mist and a creature that can only be Razen C steps out of the teleportation circle on top of the chamber. Oh, come on. Need to grab him. Here we go. Razen C appears in front of everyone and begins talking to them in Abyssal and begins communicating the will of Dendar, the Night Serpent. As the night moves on and we prepare for the day, we charge forward and we support, we feed the life of Dendar to give him strength. This individual, Razen C, looks like a mummified version of an abomination. Let me pull up an image for all of you. His clothing is broken, tattered, and ripped. His snake-like form even looks undead. The scales seem a little bit too stiff. They seem to crack with every motion that he makes. His clothing is more decorative than functional. As he holds his hands out both to one side, to each side, you can see that the rivers of blood next to him are ready, and that's what he's pointing at as Phantaza brings up the blade and slices straight across the little girl's throat.
I throw up.
Cuts
Blech.
her wrists, and then slices down the calves, allowing the altar to be just covered in all directions by the blood as it quickly drains out of this small form. It drains into the pool and seems to almost unnaturally flow forward to this towards the ritual chamber. Raz bends down, reaches each side momentarily, picks up the blood on his fingers, and begins to just mark his face with it as he prays to Dendar, the Night Serpent. This is about the time that Averine opens the door. You can sense the cubes are ahead of you. What are you guys doing?
Grigori, you may recall, had his carrying weight worth of wine in the backpack. He's trying to unload all of that as quick as he can to make room in the bag.
Where are you putting it?
Just in, just in the corner here. There's not time for much else, so it's just here. They're gonna know we were here soon enough anyway, so just unloading it if you can.
Okay.
Can we have a quick look at the treasure to see if there's any anything magically interesting in there?
I'm grabbing the cubes, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
So perception check to see what you can see within this space.
I'll do that with you. 'Cause
That
I'm
was not the
future.
cave there. That was obviously town.
Yeah, I'm assuming so with the 22. All right, so looking over all of the treasure in here, it's packed with treasure that would have been taken from all over the place. You can see a very, very valuable-looking bejeweled Amnian doublet. You can see a Cormerian cloak. These are locations. You can see a harp that was made from the Moonshay Isles. Very delicate, very valuable creature. Not creature, sorry. Very valuable harp. A whole hoard of gemstones and coins. Off the top of your head, with a quick glance, Tower, you not really being used to money, you can't really gain a rough, very accurate idea of how much is here, but there is a couple hundred platinum worth just right in front of you.
He's not really concerned about the money. He's just concerned about anything in here that's useful to him.
Nothing that really seems to be functional or useful.
Well, and at that point, Grigori walks in with his bag open. Items first, coins and jewels second. If it's useful, put it in. If it's not, leave it behind. Better for us to have it than this guy.
How big's the harp? Is it one of these big harps? Or is it just
It's a big harp. It's not going to fit in the bag of holding.
Right, okay, so the cloak.
Yep.
We can get in there.
The Cormerian cloak.
What was the other one?
You have an Amnian doublet.
Alright.
Yep.
Get the doublet.
Yeah. I'll send you all as much as you actually grab. Averine, you go to this chest of drawers. You can see it is a very ornate-looking dark wood structure with lots of drawers. Yep, plenty of wood. So on top of it, various different decorative items. You can see candles, pen, quill, that kind of thing. Nothing really of useful, but there are obviously paper and ink, so that's spellcasting materials for you, if you wish to grab a couple. What do you do?
I grab the cubes.
Okay. So the sense that you're getting is from the middle shelf, and you reach down, you pull out the shelf, and you can see the 3 cubes laid out in delicate fashion in a cushion of velvet. It's very nice. Unfortunately, as you pull it out, whoop, 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 an alarm goes off.
Oh, yay.
And the arcane node, the teleportation node in this room begins to glow.
Tower, throw a crate on top of that node. Put crap on top of it right now.
I'm going to grab at that chest and throw it.
As Razin C steps forward into this space, Zola, you know something's gone wrong as the ritual did not complete. Razin C was interrupted halfway through after he just finished smearing himself with blood. He curses in Abyssal and then disappears from view.
What's Venthaza doing? What's Venthaza doing? Is she staying there? Is she just looking around like, alarm?
So you guys can't hear the alarm. You just see Razin C flip out.
Well, so what is she doing? Is she staying here?
She's confused. So as of right now, she is staying there. She looks to the three seers for guidance to see what's going on. But that's it for now.
I cast Wall of Fire.
Okay, well, you're going to have to roll initiative before you get to do that.
Sure.
Okay? As Razin C is coming to play.
Doing it.
It's not bad. 7.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
I could have rolled a 2 or a 1. That's how it could have been worse.
I will use luck on that initiative roll. So it's a 13 total.
Okay. I'll make that change for you.
Oh, I get it. Oh.
Okay. Come on. Anyone else missing from the turn order?
Am I supposed to enter it, or?
It's up to you if you do. Every turn at the top of the round, if you're not actually in the initiative order, I will still ask you, what are you doing right now? And I'll give you an update of what Venthaza is doing.
Do you want to put me in there for that sake? For now?
You can do so. Yeah. Go ahead and roll initiative. 19. Okay. So we have Grigori, Tower, Averine, Pijo, Razin C. I need to roll for the other NPCs. Bear with me 1 second.
Did Dirk communicated what he saw with us, all these Yuan-ti and stuff, right?
He's just watching it all. He hasn't told you anything.
All right.
Because talking next to the door would be a bad idea. It's never been this slow. All right. Cool. Then top of the round, I think it's actually Razin C. Ooh. Oh, this is not good. Not good at all.
For you, right, as the DM, it's not a good situation for you. I'm sorry. That sounds very difficult.
I know. You might die, and that's a problem because I need this adventure to keep going. So, as he steps out, looks at the site and the scene, he sees Averine with the cubes, or at least in front of the tray with the cubes. His focus and ire is straight on her. However, for his action, he waves a hand. You notice bits of the treasure and the rubble that was hidden underneath coin and things begin to shift.
Is he casting a spell?
Let me double check. It's not actually. He's speaking a command word.
Okay.
Okay. So as he speaks Silum, 5 shields begin to animate out of the treasure, float towards him, and begin to float around him as a barrier. That is his action to do. He's then going to move and slither through the ground right up towards Averine. Zola. It would appear that Venthaza is looking for aid and understanding. The seers spend a second Razan C is dealing with interlopers within his chambers. Someone has broken in.
You still want him dead, right?
Now would be the time to strike.
Now would be the time to strike. How do we get there quickly? Can we bring my brother? He's a good fighter.
He's a little indisposed. The universe doesn't want to run another NPC, so...
Well, he can be stupid and just kind of like follow in behind us or something.
Okay.
I just want to get him out of the cage. So.
All right, fair enough. Then she will, if you're willing to spend your entire turn, she will grab Shargo and you, take you to the teleporter. Remember, I need Razan C's head on my table. As she takes you to the teleportation node that you used to get in, and using an Arcana check, which she's going to succeed, send you and Shargo into the throne room.
Yay!
As Grigori's casting the wall of fire, right? Right?
Well, let's. That's what I wanted to do. We'll see what happens before it gets to my turn. If things significantly change, I might do something different.
Okay.
Unless locked into that, which I understand if I am. It's fine.
Which is fine. No, you're not locked into it. But you do now see, all of a sudden, Zola in abomination form suddenly appear.
Do we recognize that it's Zola, or is it just a giant abomination carrying Shago?
Upper half still looks like Zola. She's a little bit taller now, maybe. All right, that's Zola's turn done. Pijo.
Rini, and he's gonna try. Can he fly up into a corner? How tall's the room?
It's a 15-foot tall room, so it's not really like if you flew into the corner, you wouldn't really be getting out of any melee range.
All right. Can he shoot through, like a gap through Grigori and start shooting at the door through the door?
Yep. Yeah, you can.
All right, he's gonna do that. He's gonna cast Hunter's Mark onto our friend.
Okay.
Raz, and then he's gonna see how this goes.
Razan, yeah, okay. So 13 to hit will, unless he's going to do anything to it, that's going to miss.
Nothing you can do.
Okay.
Do the second shot.
Oh.
No rolls. 16.
So that is going to miss. Instead, it hits one of the shields.
Right.
And the shield falls to the ground.
Right.
Okay.
So it would have hit him if it wasn't for the shield.
Okay.
Now he's only got 4 shields.
Okay.
Anything else?
He'll duck back out and make space.
Okay. Tower.
Tower is going to cast, remembering to sneeze. Remembering the wall and the warning, he's going to cast protection from poison on himself.
Okay.
And then move up and turn into a giant octopus.
Okay. You suddenly shift into a giant octopus.
Tails and tentacles all over.
Yep. What are you going to do? That's your action and your bonus action done.
Yep.
We're going to move to Carmen. Carmen.
Carmen is.
You can ring me.
Am I?
You can ring him.
I could. Yeah, Carmen's going to use the ring. Not the ring. Not the ring. We've been there, done that. They're not work path.
Yep.
So I'm not doing that again. So she's
you're going to perform your action as if you were in the position of a tower.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would therefore, if I was in that position, I would use my rapier.
Okay. 14 misses.
And then while I'm still there, can I take my second action while I'm still there?
So you get a second attack with your attack action. So it was the attack action that you took from that position, so you get one more attack.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. Can I use luck?
Yes, you can.
Awesome.
Roll a d20.
Okay. Like that? No. That.
Mm-hmm.
That?
Yes.
No.
No. Oh.
Slash R. No.
Slash R, sorry.
Slash R.
Yeah.
Space.
That.
No.
Oh, my lord.
Slash R space.
You see, I haven't played in a couple of weeks.
1d20. No.
There we go.
That'll do.
There we go.
So plus your 7 on top of that, that makes it 23, sorry. So
Yeah.
23 to hit. With the force shield still active, his AC is 23, so that hits him instead of the shields.
Lovely.
Yes.
So my defensive flourish as well?
Okay, so you deal 19 points of damage to him. Okay. Anything else?
And I can't give any. I can't do a cantrip or anything like that. We need a.
Okay. Unless you have a bonus action cantrip, which
No,
I'm
no.
pretty sure you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we move to Averine. Razin C has just approached you. Shields are floating all around you. What are you going to do?
So I don't think I've ever used it before, but can you tell me how the dodge action works in combat?
So you spend your action to dodge, and then until the end of the beginning of your next turn, any attack against you has disadvantage.
And am I still able to use reactions while I'm dodging?
Correct.
Okay. I think I will use the dodge action.
Okay. All right, so attacks against you have disadvantage. Now, we have Robin, who's, I'll come in to help. Moves 30 feet in. Can't really do much once he gets in there, so he's going to dash around to the other side. Grigori.
Zola, is that you?
Hi.
Okay. And then he'll cast Haste on Tower and Zola. Twin that.
Okay.
Sorcery points. Ooh, kind of low. And then I'm going to. Does Shago have a weapon in his hands, like at all?
No.
He was just dragged out of like a pit. Can I, as a bonus action, just like grab a dagger out of my boot and not throw it at him like a weapon, but just like, here.
You're just gonna like, oh.
Maybe he catches it, maybe he doesn't.
He doesn't really catch it. It just hits the floor at his feet.
But I was able to throw it.
Yeah, he shrugs a little bit as if he would catch it, but he's out of it right now. He's still under the effects of whatever they did to him.
Sure. And then I am actually going to leave the room and move over here. Nope, I'm going to move over there. And I'm done.
Okay. Dirk is by the door, turns around. Hey, what's going on? The guy just disappeared.
Yeah, he's in here.
Oh.
You should get away from that door. I think people are going to come through it soon.
No, lock it.
Can you lock it? Lock the door.
Okay, so he'll spend his action locking the door. Or at least ensuring that the door is locked, which it is. Okay. And you've already been told Razin C is the only one that can open that door. So he secures it. All right, top of the round. Razin C's turn. In this situation, he's going to curl up the tail and he's going to constrict The octopus.
What happened?
So that's a 24 to hit the octopus.
Yeah.
Okay. So the octopus is now grappled, and until the grapple ends, the target is restrained. So you are restrained, so any further attacks against you have advantage.
Okay.
He then pulls out a blade on his side, holds it in two hands, and you watch as the blade itself ignites in fire as he strikes out at you twice with a flame tongue sword. That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
That's 7 points of slashing plus 6 points of fire, so 13 points of damage. He's then going to strike out a second time at you. 18 to hit the octopus.
Yeah.
Okay. That is 4 points of slashing with 4 points of fire. Oh, and you should have taken 8 points of bludgeoning from the initial constrict attack.
Okay.
Okay. And then that is his turn done. Yeah. We'll end there. Zola, what would you like to do?
Is the ceiling more than 10 feet tall?
Yes, it's 15 foot tall.
Ah. Thwarted. Okay. Then I will, not being familiar with new body, I think I will try to lunge at him and constrict him back.
Okay. You're going to make a constrict attack. Okay,
Yes.
so this is a melee weapon attack, which you are proficient with.
I created like a little
Yeah,
thing for it
because we
based off of
discussed the constrict previously. Unfortunately, a 12 is going to miss.
as low roll. Okay, well, I'm hasted. So I will now use my actual attack. I'm over here now. With my cutlass.
You.
You! Me! Us! Hey, you're red. I'm red too.
You are supposed to be mine.
Nobody told me that.
As you strike at him with your cutlass, you have advantage because you guys are all flanking him. 26 hits him, does not hit the shields. So 8 points of slashing damage on his form with the sneak attack. Nice.
And then bonus action, cunning action, take a couple steps back.
Yep. Ooh. I might have done a bad thing by making a swashbuckler. Not a swashbuckler. You are a No. You are a swashbuckler. A Yuan-ti, so you can just attack and step back. Oh.
Well, if I wanna constrict him, I have to stay there.
Constrict, you
So
have to
that's
stay
the
there, true.
trade-off. That's the
Fair
weakness.
enough. Bijo. Bijo.
Zhao is gonna so there's a lot of bodies in the room. Can he get into a position where he can get a line of sight?
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna go in the corner.
Flying up in the corner should be fine.
All right, he's gonna fly up in the corner this time, and then yeah, he's gonna make another 2 attacks. Then. Zhao. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
The 23, for again, hits him, does not hit the shield. Wow.
He's going to get his Hunter's Mark and his Colossus Slayer in on that.
Just leave me. No, stop. Ah.
Right, he's going to make a second shot. Come on, Pajao. No, that's probably not going to do it.
That's going to miss. Anything else?
That's Pajao.
Tower.
Tower. Okay. Tower is now hasted, so he is going to use his bonus action to use a 3rd level spell slot and gain 3d8 health back.
Okay.
So, that's not a terrible roll. I'll take that.
11 points of healing back.
So,
I'm going to use empowered healing. I spend a sorcery point, and he can reroll any number of those dice. So you can reroll the 1 and the 4 if you want. You have to take the new die, so.
Yeah, I'll reroll the 1 and 4 then.
Oh, no, sorry, you can't do that. I have to be literally right next to you. I am too far away. Sorry. Carry on.
Okay, let's retract that, and I'm happy with the 11. Okay, and now I'll make an attack.
Okay.
Not the caper, I don't have the caper anymore. What is my other sheet?
Oh.
Doctor, all right, as the octopus. 14.
14, unfortunately.
I must. Oh, we're flanking, aren't we? I thought we were flanking. Technically, Rob's in the right place. I'm a large creature. Oh,
You've got grappled on it.
If you position yourself there, then yes.
Yeah.
But you are restrained by him, so you have disadvantage on your attacks.
Right, that makes sense.
So it's a straight up 14. That's going to miss.
Okay. Good. All right, so I'll make another tentacle attack of my next action.
Okay.
Come on.
The 20 whips forward and hits one of the shields. He now only has 3 shields left.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Carmen.
Carmen is going to use the rings again.
Okay.
And she's going to lean forward and just, in a very Little Britain style, just go like, and bestow curse.
Okay. You touch a creature, that creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Okay. What's the spell save DC?
Oh,
15.
Yeah, 15.
Okay.
Oh.
I think that's a success, you know. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Nope. Okay.
No.
Averine. You won't get your hands on my stones.
I think that's what you have a harem for. I'm gonna continue taking the. Well, if he's not. He's gonna be fighting.
Tower is a huge threat right now with his current position and the speed that he's moving at. So unless you provide any sort of reason why he should focus on you, he's not going to.
So I'm going to take a step back into the pillow area.
Okay. He will not use his reaction. You can move back into the pillow area.
And then I will cast. Sheet is right there. I will cast Guiding Bolt at 4th level.
Ooh.
Okay. He will counterspell that.
That was
And he will use just counterspelling at 3rd level, so he does need to make a spellcasting ability check as he does so. His spellcasting ability is intelligence. So, straight up intelligence check, DC 14. Yeah. So he manages to counterspell your guiding bolt.
Looks like I would have missed anyway.
True.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Robin, in position. I can help. Long sword out, short sword out, 3 attacks. 18 Hits a shield. That's another shield gone. 19. That's another shield gone. No.
That's 3 shields. with
Yeah,
this
so he had 2
19.
shields left, which meant the 19 actually hit him. His AC is now 19, so 9 points of slashing. And then the last attack misses him completely. Grigori.
I'm going to hold an action to use Healing Word at 2nd level as soon as Tower takes any damage.
Okay. Doing so.
Oh, excuse me.
drops
That
concentration.
would get rid of my haste. I thought about that and forgot about it. So
So
I'm not
you-
going to do that.
Okay, so you're retconning that before it
Yes.
actually happens.
Because Grigori understands how spells work. It's just Matthew
Yep.
who doesn't. So I'm just going to step up and tell Roz that he's an ugly leper who shouldn't have anything good going on in his life and cast vicious mockery at him.
It's not my fault this damned curse is eating away at me. So he's going to roll a wisdom save. That's 25.
Yep, that
That
succeeds.
succeeds. Okay. Anything else from you, Grigori?
Step back again. I'm done.
Okay. Dirk is going to run in and bonus action dash to get up to help his buddy up to here and make a short sword attack at advantage. That's going to miss. So, never mind there. It's Razansi's turn. This is going to be a problem. So, instead of just continuing to attack Tower, who's capable of healing himself, he's actually going to cast a spell.
Every encounter spells it.
Okay. At what level do you counterspell?
3rd.
3rd. Okay, I need you to make an intelligence check.
Oh, it's too good.
Okay, roll an intelligence check. 24. Oh, okay. So you counterspell that. Well done there. Not good at all. So instead, he's going to use his action to use a cantrip.
Can he use an action if he uses action to cast a spell?
He was casting Misty Step,
Oh, I see.
which is actually a bonus action cast. So you stopped him from Misty Stepping away. So you know what? No, he's not going to. He's got 3 attacks. He's got Tower in his arms. He's just going to strike out at Tower 3 times with the longsword. So
Sounds like a love song Carmen could make. I've got 3
25 to
attacks.
hit
Yeah.
Got 3 arms. Oh, you.
for 11 slashing and 8 fire. So that's 19 points of damage. Second attack is a 24 to hit
Oh.
for 8 slashing and 4 fire.
Okay.
Third attack is a 17 to hit. I believe that hits you even if you're hasted.
Right. Yeah, it does. So.
Okay. So that's 9 slashing and 7 fire.
Puts me out. So,
So 13 goes on you.
yeah.
You change your form. You're still constricted by him and restrained by him. All right. Then that'll end his turn. Zola.
I'm going to try the same thing I tried last time. I'm going to leap for him with the attempt to constrict. And whether or not that works, I'm going to cut him afterwards.
Okay. .21 hits him.
Hey!
Bludgeoning damage. He is now restrained by you, constricted. There's now a conga line of constriction.
I'm on his back. His head is like right here. And I'm like, "Are you my dad? Are you my dad?"
Mika. He knows the truth of your origin. Are you going to kill him?
I don't think 9 will kill him.
Yeah. 21 is going to hit, though, as he takes the damage again. He's now looking heavily weakened.
Add 15 to that.
Zola,
Um.
how are you killing Raz NC?
Oh wow, that actually did it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I might have just killed my dad.
Sorry, my audio just went.
Well, she doesn't think that this will do it. So let's see.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
She doesn't think that she can actually do this. That she would actually be able to make the killing blow on this guy. He's like so legendary in her head by now. So it will probably not initially be a well-placed strike, but something about Tower struggling in his arms moves his body just so.
Tower shifts, and then his form shifts down, and as you make the blow, I counter his weight, and I open up a really bad
Big
area, a big jugular blow, and it shifts.
So then a strike that meant to go to his shoulder ends up going straight through the back of his chest cavity and heart.
As your blade slips in, his head just kind of lilts back, teeth broken as his body is decaying. You can see now clearly that his body is not an undead creature. His body has just been decaying slowly. As he just whispers to you, "You were supposed to destroy the machine."
We will
And then he dies. As Razan C falls in your arms, his flame-tongued sword hitting the ground.
She's gonna start crying. She's overwhelmed now.
Tails picking out. It's useful.
There's all sword.
You see
He doesn't
Shargo.
know he's a father. It's like crazy. What? This is your father?
You see Shargo fall forward as someone begins to take his place. Not just one individual, but instead two. As both Fenthaza and Valindra appear side by side in the chamber. That's one down. You all did fantastically well. Now I think it's high time, as Valindra says, that you give me all of the cubes that you've collected. And as she demands that the cubes are sent to her, we're going to end today's session. We'll deal with that next week on Crituitous RP. Follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. Follow us on Tumblr. We are crituitousrp.tumblr.com. And share us with your friends. Tell other people about us. Check out our Half-Rate Heroes stream tomorrow night. And join us next time as our heroes continue to adventure through the Tomb of Annihilation. Good night.